Well, good afternoon, everyone, from Peoples Bank Park in York, Pennsylvania. The weather definitely taking a sour turn here today. Wind chills are only in the upper 30s as we conclude this opening weekend series between the Lancaster Barnstormers and the York Revolution. York took the opener here on Thursday night by a run, a tightly played ball game. The difference, the long balls for the Revolution. A 3-run home run in the fourth inning by Ryan Dent and a leadoff home run in the ball game by Jared Mitchell, providing the thrust for the York Revolution. Here on Friday night, York again got the 3-run home run that by Zach Wilson as part of a 5-run first inning. The Barnstormers fell behind 9-1 through 3 and never could catch up despite having a lot of base runners along the way. They fell 9-4. Then last night, an historic inning for the Barnstormers. They plated 11 runs in the sixth inning without the benefit of a home run anywhere along the way. Guys kept marching around the bases, an assortment of walks, hit batters, and hits falling in for the Barnstormers. 11 runs, 7 hits in that top of the sixth inning, and from there they coasted to a 14-4 victory in Game 3 of the series. So we wrap it up here this afternoon with a pair of right-handers. Brooks Hall will be making his Atlantic League debut for the Barnstormers. Hall last year, his first season outside of the Milwaukee Brewers organization, went a combined 2-4 at AA and AAA in the Arizona Diamondbacks system. He'll be opposed today by Dominic Severino, who is a relative newcomer to professional baseball. The Bridgeport Bluefish, late in the season last year, has signed him. He's local reasonably to Bridgeport. He's actually from the same town as Tyler Clark, Cheshire, Connecticut. And Severino took the Atlantic League by storm. He was 1-0 in 3 starts with a 1.23 earned run average. He was drafted by the Revolution as the Bluefish disbanded at the end of last year, and he'll be making his first start of 2018 here today. The Barnstormers looking to come out of here with a split that would be golden after dropping the first 2 games of the season. Lancaster will be heading to Southern Maryland on Tuesday, following the obligatory first Monday of the season off tomorrow around the Atlantic League. It is breezy today. It is cloudy and not terribly conducive to baseball, more like a football Sunday sometime in November is the weather today. And then it's going to flip back around and we're going to have gorgeous weather apparently all week long. And that allegedly, anyway, 5 days out is going to be for the home opener on Friday night against the same York Revolution Ball Club. May the 4th be with you as the Barnstormers raise the curtain on their 14th season at Clipper Magazine Stadium. We'll have more on the Dugout Report coming your way in just a moment right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Craft beers, local wines. Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
Hi everyone, Adam Gochnauer here for Gochnauer Appliances in East Petersburg. We are as excited as you that it's baseball season, and we are thrilled to once again be partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers. We are also excited this season to introduce some awesome new appliance colors on display now. Come and see the new colors of slate, black stainless, and black slate. These colors will give your kitchen a great look, and of course, all of them are at the best prices around now at Gochnauer's. I'll be back after the break to tell you about our special Barnstormers summer promotions.
The Barnstormers have gotten off to an incredible start offensively, especially over the last 2 nights. Last night, 20 hits for the Barnstormers. It was just one of those nights a lot fell in for the ball club. They got some breaks. They put 14 runs on the board, but the numbers at this point are staggering. The Barnstormers with a team OPS of 888, and that's without hitting a home run in the first 3 games of this series. The reason? The team batting average is .357. The on-base percentage is .450. They have been swinging the bats extremely well. Now, the hottest hitter on the ball club is Rico Noel. He has 9 hits in his last 10 at-bats, and we knew that Ross Peoples wasn't losing his mind by pulling Rico out of a game last night in which he was 5 for 5 and had the opportunity to become only the second Barnstormers player ever to collect 6 hits in a game, joining Adam Godwin in that category. But Rico tweaked his groin probably in that wild rundown that he got in the middle of the game, and it was aggravated. Ross didn't want to take any chances on the soppy field we had last night, and Rico will sit again this afternoon. The other hot hitter on the ball club, and this carried over from spring training, is Vladimir Frias, the shortstop. Frias has opened up the season 5 out of 9. He has reached base on 8 of his 12 plate appearances. A marvelous start for Frias. And Carlos Garcia is back in the lineup today. Garcia got off to a great start last night, going 3 for 4 in his Atlantic League debut. He knocked in a couple of key runs for the Barnstormers in last night's game. In fact, the 4 starting infielders for the Stormers last night, Terdoslavich, Noel, Frias, and Garcia, were a ridiculous 14 for 17 with 9 runs batted in the game last night. So this afternoon, game 4 again, Brooks Hall against Dominic Severino. I'll have the starting lineups for today's ball game in just a moment right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
With you again to tell you that we are back this season with Weber Gas Grills. We have the best selection and prices in the area on Weber, and if you mention this ad, you will receive 10% off all in-stock Weber accessories. Don't forget, we also fill your propane tanks here at the store. Don't waste money on exchanges when you can have us fill your tank and save you money. We are your appliance and gas grill headquarters. Come see us today on Main Street in East Petersburg or on the web at gockenhours.com.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like $20 on the spot, loaded with $20 prizes.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Here's how the lineups will stack for this afternoon's game between the Lancaster Barnstormers and the York Revolution. Ross Peoples, Mark Mason exchanging the lineups at home plate. For the Barnstormers, once again, Darian Sanford leading off. He will be in center field. The second baseman, batting number 2, is Tyler Bortnick. Blake Galen is in right field, hitting third. The cleanup batter is the first baseman, Joey Terdoslavich. Trayvon Robinson will be batting 5th. He is in left field. Designated hitter batting 6th is Kyle Waldrop. Anderson De La Rosa doing the catching, batting 7th. The shortstop hitting 8th is Vladimir Frias. And Carlos Garcia will make the start at third base. He is batting 9th. 6'6" right-hander Brooks Hall out of Anderson, South Carolina, making his Atlantic League debut this afternoon for the Lancaster Barnstormers. And for York today, it will be Jared Mitchell leading off once again. He is in right field. Alexi Casilla will bat second and play second base. Zach Wilson shifts across the infield to third. He will bat third. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman, Michael Burgess. Jose Tabata will bat fifth. He's the designated hitter. Ruby Silva is in the number 6 slot. He will be in left field. Ryan Dent is the shortstop, batting 7th. The catcher hitting 8th is Luis Cruz. Travis Witherspoon is in center field for the Revolution today and batting in the number 9 slot. Dominic Severino with the start for the Revs today. The Barnstormers have not seen him. He made 3 starts at the tail end of the season for Bridgeport last year after coming out of the Empire League, and Severino was magnificent. He struck out 19 batters in 14 2/3 innings. York had the opportunity to face him. Mark Mason didn't necessarily like what he saw that day, but he liked what he saw out of Severino and has taken a chance on him in the dispersal draft of the Bluefish. Severino with the start here this afternoon. That's the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report for today. We'll be back with play-by-play baseball coming your way next, right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
A chilly gray afternoon here in downtown York, Pennsylvania, as the Lancaster Barnstormers visit the York Revolution, concluding a 4-game series. These two teams will not be strangers for long, though. They'll reconvene in Lancaster next Friday night for our home opener at Clipper Magazine Stadium. A great 3-day weekend coming up at the Clip next weekend. The Barnstormers getting the 2018 season, their 14th of baseball underway. The great new feature at the ballpark is the broken bat deck, but also the backyard that is currently still under construction out in right center field. That's going to be a very fun location as well, with some games out there, and just a new feel to Clipper Magazine Stadium if you haven't been in the ballpark yet, even with the change in the picnic area with the tent now from Haller and the ability to close up the picnic pavilion in inclement weather, as many of you found at the season ticket holder gathering last week during spring training. Severino and the York Revolution on the field. We're going to send you down for our opening ceremonies.
So the colors have left the field.
A fife and drum corps here at Clipper Magazine, or at People's Bank Park, rather, for the national anthem today. Now we'll fall silent again to allow the colors to leave the field.
Thank you to Central York Middle School Royal Fife and Drum.
Right-hander Dominic Severino taking the hill for the York Revolution here today. He's just 24-year-old from Cheshire, Connecticut, 6 feet 2 inches tall, 230 pounds, a product of Central Connecticut State. He decided last year to try his hand at professional baseball. He went to the Empire League and had all right numbers there, but Bridgeport picked him up at the end of the season, and the match was magic. He had a marvelous month of September in a Bridgeport Bluefish uniform, going 1-0 in 3 starts. He covered 14 2/3 innings, gave up 14 hits, but only 2 runs. He walked 3, and he struck out 19. Backing him up defensively today, Zach Wilson will be at third. The shortstop is Ryan Dent. Alexi Casilla at second base. Michael Burgess over at first. The outfield has Ruby Silva in left. Travis Witherspoon is in center. And Jared Mitchell again making the start in right field. Luis Cruz is doing the catching for the York Revolution this afternoon. He and Tyler Clark have split the chores evenly here this weekend, and Severino is on the hill. Our umpiring crew today has Mario Rosas calling balls and strikes. Calvin Baker is the first base umpire. Michael Williams is along the third base line. For the Barnstormers, it will be Darian Sanford, Tyler Bortnick, and Blake Galen opening up the ball game here today. Center fielder, second baseman, and right fielder, respectively. The Barnstormers banging out 20 hits last night, following up a 13-hit performance in the ball game here on Friday. The win today is not going to help the power-laden York Revolution Ball Club. It is blowing a gale in from left field as we get this game underway this afternoon. Winds at 15 miles an hour. Okay, not quite a gale, I exaggerate, but gusting to 22. The flag stiffly pointing from left across to right for today's ball game. Darian Sanford leading off for the Barnstormers today. Sanford is 3 for 12, leads the ball club with 4 runs batted in, and is in fact tied for the league lead with 4 runs batted in. The Barnstormers and Revs having the benefit of having played more than everybody else around the Atlantic League. Here's the wind. First pitch of the ball game. Over at the knees for a called strike. Sanford falls behind 0-1. Dominic Severino, the burly right-hander, throws from a 3/4 angle. Kept that pitch nicely down low. Here is the motion, and the next offering. Ground ball toward the hole at shortstop. Digging it up is Dent. He's got to throw in a hurry and will not get Darian Sanford. He beats out the infield single, and the Barnstormers have their leadoff man aboard. The speed of Darian Sanford already a factor in the ball game this afternoon. That brings on Tyler Bortnick. Bortnick is 1 out of 9 on the year with 1 run batted in. He came into the ball game last night replacing Rico Noel and stays in that slot here today. Sanford, the base runner. Severino and Cruz will have to keep an eye on him. He has stolen 1. He's been caught once so far. Throw goes into first base, and Darian is back in. Blake Galen, the right fielder, off to a decent start. Not a super start, but a decent start. Waits on deck. Infield sets, double play depth for the York Revolution. The third baseman, Wilson, up toward the edge of the grass, expecting a possible bunt. Throw again to first base. Bortnick is yet to see a pitch. All the focus on the base runner, Sanford, who swiped 45 in 60 games a year ago. Barnstormers have stolen 8 so far this year. High set by Severino. The runner holds. Bortnick squares the bunt and draws it back in time to take ball 1 outside. 1 ball, no strikes on the right-handed hitting utility infielder. He started a couple games at third base. Now in the lineup at second. You can throw him in at shortstop from time to time also. Severino to a high set. He's going to fire to first base again. And once more, Sanford back in with a dive. Ross Peoples coaching third at the outset of the game today. And Josh Bell over at first. They are likely to switch off later. Sanford out to a lead. And the pitch to Bortnick, a swing and a dribbler foul, a ball and a strike. And Sanford's still not sure about the move of Severino. He was actually inching back toward the first base bag when the pitch headed home. Darian likes to get a long lead, even though he himself is only 5'9". He is well off the bag. Severino gives him a look. It's a ball and a strike to Bortnick, and another throw to first base. Darian back in with a dive. The Barnstormers with yet another base runner in this series. It is their 60th, and we're just starting the 4th game. 1-1 to Tyler Bortnick. Sanford's going to go. The pitch is swung on, wrap to first, and Burgess will step to the bag, get the out there. Sanford motors ahead to second. That was a nice try at the hit and run, but Bortnick couldn't find the vacant hole on the right side. He slapped the ball directly at the first baseman. Hard hit. Burgess would have had the opportunity for a double play on that ground ball had Sanford not been running. Blake Galen now steps in. Galen 4 out of 12 with a couple of doubles, both yanked into the right field corner. And he has 2 runs batted in to make him the all-time Barnstormers RBI leader with 275. He broke the tie last night with longtime Barnstormers center fielder Jut Heilman. Here's the motion, and a Galen. Severino finds the range. First pitch strike. It is 0-1. Joey Turdoslavich, the switch-hitting first baseman, waits on deck. A look back at Darian Sanford. Severino to the high set. He'll work the Galen up and away. Ball 1, strike 1. That pitch may have had a purpose to it. Even with the left-handed batter at the plate, you can't be sure that Sanford's not going to sprint for third base. And that would have been a perfect pitch for Cruz had Sanford taken off. Blake Galen bats. 1 ball, 1 strike. The offering is inside and low, knocked down by Cruz, and he'll keep Sanford in check. Barnstormers have benefited from 6 wild pitches in this series. On top of all the base runners, 3 hit batters, and 41 hits. They've drawn 16 walks. Severino, a glance back at Sanford. 2-1, the count to Blake Galen. Another glance. Sanford takes off. The pitch cut on and driven high in the air out to center field. Backing up on this is Witherspoon. He'll make the catch. Sanford plenty of time to retreat to second. He tags, and he's still going to take off for third. He makes it without a throw. Joey Turdoslavich with 2 outs and a runner at third base. Darian Sanford just did something that you won't see terribly often, and only a guy as fast as Sanford is could do this. He was at third base as he was off and running on the Galen swing. And with the fly ball lofted to fairly deep center field, Sanford made it all the way back to second, tagged up, turned, and raced for third, and didn't even get a throw. First pitch is a little bit high to Turdoslavich. Ball 1, no strikes. Joey is 4 for 12, 3 of the hits coming last night. He has driven in 2. Defense back, 2 outs. Sanford over at third base. Here is the motion. Severino to the plate. Turdoslavich swings and slices it foul off to the left, well out of the playing field. 1 ball, 1 strike. Terdoslavich trying to pick up the first run of the game. The Barnstormers have scored in the first inning each of the last two nights, getting a single tally across. Here's the 1-1. Terdoslavich again with a swing and a looper foul. This will get into the third base seats. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Switch hitting first baseman, another switch hitter on deck, and Trayvon Robinson. The Barnstormers keep throwing them out there. There are 5 switch hitters in the lineup today. Robinson back in there. Keenan Walker is not. Terdoslavich rips it to short. One quick hop to Ryan Dent. It will end the inning. Severino survives the leadoff infield base hit from Darian Sanford. It is no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base at the end of a half. The Barnstormers nothing, and the York Revolution coming up.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu. Big Brooks Hall on the hill for the Barnstormers this afternoon. 6'6" and 240-pounder is Hall out of Anderson, South Carolina. Brooks, 27 years of age. He signed with the Brewers as their 4th-round draft choice back in 2009. Did not begin his professional career until the following year. Made it to AAA briefly in the Milwaukee organization. Also pitched couple of games in AAA last year in the Arizona Diamondback system. His first pitch to Jared Mitchell, high and outside for a ball. It is 1-0. Mitchell is 2 for 12 with a home run, and that lone run batted in. He opened up the season here in York with a long ball to right center field on Thursday night off of the starting pitcher that night, Joe Gardner, called strike, and it's 1-1. Alexi Casilla is on deck. He's a switch hitter, and Zach Wilson, right-handed batter to follow. Swing and a miss by Mitchell. It is 1-2. Hall has never had what you would call a great season, but he has had solid numbers throughout his career. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mitchell, a swing and a miss. Brooks Hall starts off his day with the 32nd strikeout for Barnstormers pitching in this series. 1 down. Casilla, the second baseman, will come to the plate. 4 out of 10 is Casilla, with a double and 1 run batted in. And Casilla, like so many others, as they look during the spring training games with that worming scarf-like material around the neck and almost worn over the mouth as a face guard. Fouled away. It is no balls and a strike. It cannot be terribly pleasant out on the playing field today. It's definitely not baseball weather. But that will return by Tuesday. Even tomorrow is supposed to be all right. Swinging a foul ball off to the left and out of play. 2 strikes on Casilla. Hall missed with his first pitch, but the last 5 good for strikes. No score. Lower half of the first inning. The Barnstormers stranded Sanford at third. in the top half of the frame. In the motion is Hall, and his pitch grazes Casilla. Brooks Hall with a mistake there at 0-2. He tried to cram him inside and brushed him with the pitch. A one-out base runner for York, and that brings on Zach Wilson, the third baseman. Wilson 3 for 9 in the series with a double, a home run, and he has driven in 3. Barnstormers will set the infield at double play depth, but Lancaster has not turned a double play in this series. York, on the other hand, has turned 5, but York's had many more chances at the double play. Casilla will coax a throw out of Hall, and the York base runner back in with a dive. Takes a little bit longer than normal to get up, but he's all right. Hall to the plate, and he delivers a strike to Wilson. It is 0-1. Anuel Polanco coaching over at third, and Sandy De Leon at first base. Another throw over to first. This time, Casilla back in standing. For the Barnstormers defensively, Carlos Garcia is at third. Vladimir Frias, the shortstop. The second baseman is Tyler Bortnick. Joey Turdoslavich over at first. Runner holds, swing and a miss by Wilson. Hall's got him at 0-2. Trayvon Robinson in left with Darian Sanford in center. Blake Galen stationed in right, and Anderson De La Rosa doing the catching in this afternoon's ball game. De La Rosa and Hall work together in the Milwaukee Brewers organization. Throw to first, and again, sprawling back in is Casilla, who is not a huge base stealing threat. No balls, 2 strikes. The delivery, chopper back to the hill. Hall will go to second. Bortnick relays back to Turdoslavich, and there's the first double play turned by the Barnstormers this year. It goes 1-4-3, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. At the end of an inning, it is the Lancaster Barnstormers 0 and the York Revolution 0.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
For the Barnstormers, here's Trayvon Robinson leading off the top of the second inning. Robinson is 3 for 8 with no extra base hits so far, and he hasn't driven in a run. Switch hitting left fielder, batting from the left side of the plate against Dominic Severino. First inning belonged to the pitchers today. Each side with 1 base runner, but no huge threat. First pitch strike into Robinson as Severino caught the outside part of the plate with a fastball. 0-1. Kyle Waldrop on deck, and then Anderson De La Rosa. Severino brings it home. Slider down and in. Robinson will bat at a ball and a strike. Trayvon played for the most part, straight up, and there's no other way to do it. I suppose Travis Witherspoon is a couple of steps toward right center field. Skipping away is the next pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike to Robinson. Lancaster got the leadoff man aboard in the first inning, something that up until the 6th inning of last night's game, they had a hard time doing. They only worked Sanford around to third base. 2 balls, 1 strike, and Robinson with a check swing hits a ground ball foul past Ross Peoples, but Ross will chase it down anyway. Probably just to stay active and try and stay warm here today. These are conditions reminiscent of the spring training game against York at Clipper Magazine Stadium a week and a half ago. 2-2, Robinson jackknifes out of the way. Ball 3 inside from Severino. Robinson trying to ignite something for the Barnstormers here in the 2nd inning. Problem with trying to steal second base today is that you're running into a strong headwind. Swinging a foul ball back. The at-bat extends. Severino will have to work to Robinson for a 7th time. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lancaster hit some balls fairly hard back in the 1st inning, but everything straight at people, which wasn't the case last night. Here's the payoff pitch. High, ball 4. Robinson picks up the base on balls. And again, the Barnstormers have their leadoff man on. Trayvon has become very adept at picking up the walks. He is aboard. Kyle Waldrop, the designated hitter, will step in. And Waldrop is one guy just not off to any kind of a hot start here. He is 1 for 9 with a run batted in. He's pretty much hit everything on the ground. A couple of pop-ups may be the exceptions, but not driving the ball. Timing just not quite there at the outset of the season. Throw to first base. Severino not trusting Trayvon Robinson. York has done a respectable job, actually, handling the Barnstormers' base running game in this series. Robinson is out to a lead. To Waldrop now, swinging a pop-up, shallow left field. Coming on for this is Silva, but fading back is the shortstop, Dent. It'll be Dent making the play. Waldrop's retired. Anderson De La Rosa now stepping in. Anderson is 1 for 9. He had a base hit here on Friday night. And the hot-hitting Vladimir Frias is on deck. Well, the Barnstormers with an infield base hit and a walk so far, but they haven't been able to build anything. We'll see if Robinson tries to take off. Not going to go here. The first pitch, a called strike. Cruz looking for a throw to first, but Trayvon settles back in. De La Rosa spent the winter in Lancaster. And it was really the first time he had experienced snow. And weather's anywhere near that cold. Native of Venezuela. The set, the delivery. Anderson fouls it back out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. But he is certainly bundled up against the weather. Vladimir Frias has a sleeve on one arm and not the other. Out in the on-deck circle. Base coaches are nicely bundled up. Nothing in 2 on De La Rosa. Robinson will get a throw from Severino. Dominic Severino is going to wear his arm out today on throws to first base. He had to contend with Sanford last inning. He's got Robinson out there now. Oh, 0-2 to De La Rosa. Right-hander, again, to a very high set position. The offering, and De La Rosa lines this to right field, but Mitchell will be there to make the catch. Another fairly hard-hit ball by a Barnstormer in this game, but today, much unlike last night, nothing seems to be falling in. Vladimir Frias stepping to the plate. Frias 3 for 4 last night. He's 5 for 9 on the season, off to a very good start, and that just carried over from spring training. Frias has started this season with a flourish. He's walked 3 times. He's also been hit by a pitch, so 9 out of 13, in fact, he's been on base. Trayvon Robinson out to a lead, and he's going to get yet another throw from Severino. Severino, for a right-hander and a youngster, has a pretty good move over to first base. He's done a good job keeping this Barnstormers base running game in check. Sun does try to emerge here, spilling out on the field, I think, very briefly. Robinson not going. Frias with a swing and a foul ball out of play to the left. Severino gains the advantage. No balls and a strike. Carlos Garcia, yet another switch hitter, waits on deck. Road Warriors come in here starting on Tuesday for 3 games in 2 days. Lancaster will go to Southern Maryland. Pitch to Vlad, high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Frias, who attended college in Tennessee, not terribly far from Ryan Castile's hometown of Chattanooga, a little bit to the north, in between Knoxville and Chattanooga. To Frias, swinging a fly ball out toward right center field. This will be easy for Witherspoon. He glides over and puts it away to end the inning. The leadoff man on again, but nothing afterwards. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man stranded. We're through 1.5 today, and there is still no score.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with the Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway, ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball, followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com, and we'll see you at the ballpark. Here is Michael Burgess, the first baseman, leading off for the York Revolution in their half of the second inning. Burgess 0 for 6 with a couple of walks on the young season. He sat last night against the lefty starter Nate Reed. Brooks Hall into the motion. His first pitch across for a strike. It is 0-1. Brooks Hall, a guy who throws low strikes, and that plays well at Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's part of the reason that Ross Peoples got him. Drive out the center field. Sanford toward his left is there. Burgess hit that pretty well. An easy play for Sanford. 1 out. Jose Tabata, the designated hitter, to the plate. Tabata did not play until last night, and in his first at bat, he drilled a double to left, driving in 2 runs, tying the game in the second inning. He was hitless the rest of the way, but it wasn't until facing Kevin Munson in the 8th inning that he failed to hit the ball hard. He struck out looking against Munson as Kevin's slider got the inside corner, but he line to center, line to right following that double. Veteran Pittsburgh Pirate Jose Tabata, he takes a pitch inside from Hall. Ball 1, no strikes. Again, Brooks Hall and Anderson De La Rosa reunited in Lancaster here in 2018. Former teammates in the Milwaukee system. Outside and high, Tabata goes to 2-0. Ruby Silva, the left fielder, is the on-deck batter. He's off to a tough start. He had a tough spring. Strike finds the outside corner from the 6'6" Hall. Defense is straight away against Tabata. Tough to get a read off last night. He hit one to every field. Ball 3 is inside. We go to full, 3 balls and a strike. Or not full, but 3 balls and a strike. 300 down the left field line, 405 to center, 325 to right here in York. 3-1 pitch finds the outside corner. And now it is 3-2. Mario Rosas rang him up for strike 3 right there. He lost track. But it is 3-2. Tabata looked back quizzingly. Here comes the payoff from Hall. Swung on, little floater out toward left, past Vladimir Frias, and in for a base hit. Tabata didn't hit that terribly well. He hit it off the label, but just enough to muscle it past Vladimir. 1 out base runner. Ruby Silva coming to the plate. Silva is 1 for 11. His one hit a double. That was off Jonathan Albaladejo here on Friday night against the wall in left field. Tabata the base runner in the 2nd inning. 1 out, 1 on. Turdoslavich, the Floridian, not wearing sleeves on this brisk afternoon. Swinging a foul ball back. It is 0-1. Well, he's not wearing a sleeve on his left arm. He does have one on his right. Whereas Tyler Bortnick, the man from Cleveland, is completely bundled up as much as a guy can be on the field. And he's going to handle this ground ball. He'll make the play, try to tag the runner, get him, throw to first, and that's a double play. 4 unassisted to 3. 2 innings in a row. Brooks Hall has had a double play. Turned behind him. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Tabata stands there for a while, trying to insist that Bortnick had missed him. And we're at the end of 2 full innings. It is the Lancaster Barnstormers nothing and the York Revolution nothing.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like $20 on the spot, loaded with $20 prizes.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark. Carlos Garcia steps in to lead off the top half of the third inning. Carlos, in his Atlantic League debut last night, 3 for 4 with a pair of runs batted in. Spent several years in the Kansas City system. Won the Dominican Summer League stolen base title his second year with 50. Breaking ball is low, ball 1 and no strikes. And just another member of Ross Peoples' corral of switch hitters. 1-0 here from Severino. The right-hander comes back. Garcia fouls it off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hall and Severino both looking very sharp out there this afternoon. And it's a day where you certainly don't have to fear allowing the ball to be hit in the air, at least not as much. Garcia fouls it off again and bats at 1-2. Both these guys largely are throwing strikes. Severino did walk Robinson leading off last inning. But Trayvon is very adept at working the count and picking up the base on balls. And he was able to outfox Severino there. It's 1-2 on Carlos Garcia. This also fouled to the left and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Severino has been able to run the ball in on the hands of the Barnstormers' left-handed batters, and the result quite often has been these foul balls to the left side. One and two. The target set toward the inside part of the plate. The pitch wrapped up the middle. Dent diving try comes up short, and Garcia picks up his 4th hit in 5 ABs. 3rd straight inning, the Barnstormers have had their leadoff man aboard. Darian Sanford now will come to the plate. He reached on an infield base hit. Challenged Ryan Dent with a slow roller toward the hole at shortstop, and you're going to have fits getting Darian on such a play when he's batting left-handed. Garcia is aboard. He has not tried to steal, but you can't discount that possibility. The Barnstormers can run just about anywhere in the lineup. Here's the pitch. Sanford shows bunt and then draws the bat back, taking a ball outside. It's 1-0. About the only 2 guys who aren't significant base stealing threats in the lineup today are Tadaslovich and De La Rosa. We discovered even Kyle Waldrop has some pretty good speed. To Sanford, he takes ball 2 high and outside. Lancaster again trying to get something brewing. Garcia held by Burgess. He hasn't gotten any attention yet from Severino. Here's the set. Sanford swings away and he misses. Failing to make contact on a Severino fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wilson, the third baseman, still drawn in. You have to be. Against Darian Sanford. 2 balls and a strike to the Barnstormers center fielder, who has had 1 base hit in every game so far. The pitch, Sanford tries to bunt, but he pops it up foul into the screen, moving the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Darian has been 1 for 4 in every game. Now that he already has the 1, he'll try to improve upon that this afternoon. He's also knocked in a run in every game. Garcia inching away from first. He'll now get a throw and leans back in. Tyler Bortnick on deck, and then Blake Galen. No score in the 3rd inning here at Peoples Bank Park, and a very chilly afternoon. The 29th of April. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sanford. Garcia's going to go. The pitch swung on and driven out to left field. That'll be handled easily by Ruby Silva. 1 away. Bortnick will step in. The outfielders remain busy in back of Severino. It is the 4th of the 7 outs on a fly ball and the 5th of the 7 outs in the air. Bortnick slapped out to the first baseman Burgess in the opening inning. A hard hit ball on a hit and run. Garcia still aboard at first base with 1 out. And he'll get a throw. The Barnstormers keep going to the hit and run. We've seen a number of occasions now where the runner has been in motion and the ball has been put in play and an easy out, and the runners had to retreat. Garcia's going to go. Bortnick swings away and elevates a fly ball, foul, and out of play. Down the right field side. One strike on Bortnick. Well, this offense today is stuck in gear. Every time the Barnstormers send a runner, the ball is put in play, and in every case but one, the ball's been in the air or foul. One strike. Bortnick looks at a fastball high, and probably a good thing that Carlos Garcia was not running there, because Cruz would have been in perfect position for a throw. 1 ball, 1 strike. Blake Galen waiting on deck. Throw to first, and again, Garcia returns. Galen also has that extra headgear on, hoodie / face mask. One and one. Garcia takes off. The pitch again, hit in the air. This will take Jared Mitchell back a ways. In fact, all the way back onto the warning track. He makes the catch. Garcia tags and heads for second. Bortnick flies out to the right field corner. That ball traveled, the wind pushing it from left across to right. Mitchell had to retreat quite a ways, but simply it becomes the second out of the inning and just another put out for the outfielders. Lancaster again able to tag up and gain an extra base, and now it is Galen batting with 2 outs and the runner in scoring position, trying to straighten something out against Severino instead of lobbing it to the outfield. Swinging a foul ball back, it is 0-1. Now the Barnstormers are hitting everything up against this guy, and it kind of goes against the grain of the 19 strikeouts he had last year in 14 2/3 innings. The Barnstormers putting the ball in play with regularity, but they're getting under everything. Garcia leading off second with 2 gone. 1 strike to Galen. Severino to the plate. Galen swings, and he hits a ball high and pretty far out toward right center field. Racing over is Witherspoon. Travis Witherspoon dives, and he can't come up with the play. Home to score is Garcia. And arriving at second base, standing with a double, is Blake Galen, as the Barnstormers take a 1-0 lead. Galen's 3rd double of the season puts the Barnstormers on top. He gave that a ride out toward right center field. Witherspoon almost came up with a sensational catch out there, but he came up just short, and it was up to Mitchell to retrieve the loose baseball out on the warning track. That brings on Joey Turdoslavich. The Lancaster first baseman grounded sharply to the shortstop Dent back in the first inning. Lancaster hitting the ball pretty well. They now have 3 hits on the day along with a walk to Turdoslavich. It is in the dirt and skipping away from Cruz. Galen will motor ahead to third on yet another wild pitch in this series. That is the 7th wild pitch from the York pitching staff in this 4-game weekend set. Barnstormers have the lead. Galen's at third with 2 outs. Ball 1 and no strikes to Turdoslavich. Severino comes back. He's upstairs with this, 2-0. The sun is doing its best to peek through. It's out again, and from my perch, I finally see blue skies. It's improving. 2-0. Turdoslavich swings, and he hits a fly ball out to deep right center field. This one has more air under it, and Witherspoon is over, loses the handle, tries to recover, and he makes the catch on the second try. A lot of drama on that fly ball, a little bit higher than Galen's on the same trajectory out toward right center field. Witherspoon got there, juggled it, hit the ground, juggled it again, actually, and then held on to deny Turdoslavich. That will end the inning. 1 run on 2 hits with no errors, and Galen left stranded at third. We're through 2.5 this afternoon here at York's People's Bank Park with the score. The Lancaster Barnstormers 1 and the York Revolution 0.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding third row. Room for up to 7. And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL Hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
Here's Ryan Dent leading off the third for the York Revolution. We have to wait for Percy and some of his four-legged friends to leave the field, however, because we've had Frisbee catching dogs before the game and during the break here in the middle of the third inning. It is the first of, I'm sure, many Bark in the Park days here in York. The Barnstormers will have them on the first Sunday game and then throughout the year on Wiener Wednesdays. My wife, the illustrious Mrs. Voice, who has a particular fondness for dachshunds, would love to see a wiener dog race at the ballpark. Perhaps that is something that we can cook up later on in the season on one of those Wednesday nights. Here's Dent, 2 out of 9 with a home run, 3 runs batted in. Breaking ball angles in for a strike from Hall. It is 0-1. Ryan Dent has found a home here in York, a big part of the championship club last year. He didn't put up the numbers of the Telvin Nashes and the Alonzo Harrises, but I don't think they win that pennant without him. He was so good defensively. Foul ball off to the right. It is 0-2. Of course, York didn't have much of a first half. They only seemed to be able to beat the Barnstormers in the first half. And then once we got that second half going, York just took off and passed the Barnstormers with about 3 weeks to go. Check swing and a foul back. Still 2 strikes on Dent. The Barnstormers, you may remember, started off the second half at 20-9. But they just ran out of gas. And I think it, to some extent, went hand in hand with the deterioration of Brad Bergeson physically. Into the dirt and outside, 1-2. He was really struggling down the stretch. And now a coach in the Phillies organization with the Lakewood Blue Claws. We wish Brad the best. Wonderful fellow. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Dent goes down looking. But he battled to hang in there last year. But you could just see it was becoming more and more of a battle toward the end of the year. Luis Cruz, the catcher, coming to the plate. 2 for 4 with a run batted in. That was in Friday night's 9-4 York win. The Barnstormers are up here 1-0. First pitch missing. Ball 1 and no strikes on Cruz. Travis Witherspoon, York's hottest hitter, at least in terms of average, waits on deck. High fly ball here. This is way, way up there out to center field with the wind blowing it more toward right. Darian Sanford dances underneath. He makes the catch, 2 outs, and Witherspoon will step in. Travis Witherspoon has already provided us with a highlight moment today that almost was a blooper reel moment, and then he did a great job recovering his bobble. I queried out in the press box between innings, though, whether or not that would have been a catch in the NFL. Did he have both feet in? 2 outs, nobody on base. And the Witherspoon fastball finds the outside corner. It's 0-1. Brooks Hall looking very sharp out there today. And this is what Ross Peoples expected to see out of Hall. To Witherspoon, swing and a miss, make it no balls and 2 strikes. Travis off to a big start. He is 6 for 11 with 1 double and 1 run batted in. He has had 2 hits in each of the first 3 games of the series. It's always a nice beginning to the year when you have 3 straight multi-hit games under your belt. This is in the dirt and scooting away from De La Rosa. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Brooks Hall, through 2 2/3 innings, has faced the minimum of 8 batters. Benefiting from 2 double plays. He himself started 1 back in the first inning. All ready to go. 1-2. Witherspoon gets this in the air out toward right field. This is carrying. Galen going back. Galen looking for where the wall is. He doesn't quite get there and makes the catch on the warning track. A 1-2-3 inning for Hall in the third. And as we complete 3, it is still the Lancaster Barnstormers 1 and the York Revolution nothing.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
For the Barnstormers, 1 run on 3 hits with no errors and 3 left. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on for the York Revolution. It will be Trayvon Robinson to start off the 4th inning for Lancaster. Robinson picked up a walk starting off the 2nd inning and was never able to budge from first base. Barnstormers' base running game has been employed today, but has not been either successful or unsuccessful. It's been in neutral. Pitch is low, ball 1, because just about every time that a runner is started, the ball's been hit in the air. Waldrop and De La Rosa will follow in this 4th inning. Dominic Severino into his motion. Robinson gets ball 2. This inside and low. The wind has shifted, as you may have been able to tell. It was blowing straight in from left earlier, and now it's got a left to right tilt and almost beginning to blow straight out toward right field. Robinson puts this in the air down the left field line. This may be kept in the ballpark, not quite, A foul ball up into the third base seats, but the wind tried to push that back onto the field of play. 2-1. Ball's hit by Bortnick, Galen, and Terdoslavich in the top of the third, and the Witherspoon fly ball in the bottom of the third all caught a ride on that wind as it changed and nearly got out of here. Everything to the warning track, inside and low. Trayvon batting at 3-1. Robinson hasn't made what you would necessarily consider a major contribution yet to the offense, but he's reached base half the time he's been up there, and now more than half he gets ball 4 outside. The Barnstormers pick up their 5th base runner of this game as Robinson is once again aboard on a leadoff walk. Designated hitter Kyle Waldrop will step in. Waldrop with a pop out to the shortstop back in the 2nd inning. He had an infield single the other night on a little ground ball over toward third, his only hit so far. Robinson, the runner at first base. Here's the delivery, and Waldrop takes a strike on the inner part of the plate. It is 0-1. He is the K-man today. Just trying to barrel something up here is Kyle Waldrop, and he is being played dramatically to pull by Witherspoon. The pitch wrapped toward the middle. Smothering stop by Casilla. They'll get the out at second. Throw back to first and a double play. 4-6-3. Put a star by that one in the scorebook. Alexi Casilla with a diving backhanded stop toward the middle. York turns 2, and Anderson De La Rosa will come to the plate. De La Rosa line to right field his first time up. Alexi Casilla robs Kyle Waldrop. The hits will start coming for him. That was the sharpest he has hit a ball to this point. And Casilla robbed him of a base hit up the middle. Now here's De La Rosa with 2 outs, nobody on, and Anderson hits one in the air down the right field line, back toward the wall. Looking up is Mitchell, and the walls will not contain it. Anderson De La Rosa going the other way with the Barnstormers' first home run of the season. It's 2-0 Lancaster. De La Rosa, who hit 3 home runs last year, connects here in the 4th inning. Everybody trying to get the ball into what is now a jet stream out toward right field, and De La Rosa succeeds. That brings on Vladimir Frias. He flied out the center field back in the 2nd inning. De La Rosa slicing it toward the corner. It just dropped up onto the deck, barely fair. Swinging a foul ball back for Vladimir Frias. It is no balls and a strike. The Barnstormers did lose their leadoff runner. If Casilla doesn't make that play, that's a 3-run homer, and the Barnstormers are really out to a significant lead. Ball is outside 1-1. Plays like that do not show up in the box score, but Casilla, by making that diving stop up the middle, has kept York in this ball game. Sharply hit the first, and getting away from Burgess, Frias will reach safely. The ball skipped off the heel of the mitt of Michael Burgess and out into right field. Carlos Garcia coming in. Garcia with a single up the middle and a run scored last inning. Frias aboard on the error. Carlos is 4 for 5. The hits have all been singles. They've all come from the left side of the plate. He has sprayed the ball around. He has hit the center today, 2 on the right side and 1 on the left side last night. Severino to the plate. Sharp grounder pulled foul past Josh Bell. 0-1 to Garcia. Darian Sanford waiting on deck. Oh, that ball is starting to travel to right field. Nothing in 1 here. Frias out to a lead. Breaking ball. Popped up foul to the third base side. dropping about 3 rows back into the seats. And you could actually, watching the flight of that foul ball, even though it wasn't terribly high, you could actually see it just hit a wall of wind up there and drop straight down, if not push back toward the field. And to Carlos, the pitch is in the dirt, and it hits him. Frias moves ahead to second. Garcia is aboard. And back around we go to Darian Sanford, who's reached on an infield single, and he is flied out to left. Lancaster 2, York nothing with play in the 4th inning, and the Barnstormers have a 2-out threat. The double play is enormous in this inning. If Casilla doesn't come up with that dazzling stop up the middle against Waldrop, the Barnstormers are on the verge of another big inning. To Sanford, foul ball back over the screen, out of play. It is 0-1. Severino trying to become the first York starter to last beyond the 4th inning. Runners lead off first and second. 1 strike pitch to Sanford, swing and a miss. He goes down 0-2. Frias and Garcia, the runners, with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. The high set by Severino. A look back to Vladimir. And 2 strikes to Sanford. He goes down swinging. Might have brushed that one foul. First strikeout for Severino on the afternoon. Lancaster adds a run on the Anderson De La Rosa opposite field home run. The only hit of the inning. There was also an error. Lancaster leaves 2. And through 3.5 innings today, the Barnstormers build on their lead. It is now Lancaster 2 and York nothing.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu. Here is Jared Mitchell leading off the bottom of the 4th, a strikeout victim, 1 of 2 for Brooks Hall here this afternoon. Swinging and missing at the first offering of the bottom half of the 4th. No balls and 1 strike. Hall has faced the minimum of 9 batters over the first 3 innings. He's allowed a base hit. He's also hit a batter, but he's gotten both those off the bases and was the front end of a double play. He almost hits Mitchell. Inside for a ball. The count goes to 1-1. Lancaster scoring on a double by Blake Galen and a home run by Anderson De La Rosa. One registered as strike 2 on the outside corner at the knees. Nate Reed, a solid start last night. Joe Gardner, again, was all right on Thursday. The numbers may not show it, but he caught 1 bad break, and Dent took advantage of that with a 3-run homer as the inning was extended. Ball 2, outside and low. Mitchell batting at 2-2. The bullpen has been very, very good. 2-2 pitch, grounded foul over toward his own dugout, and that one is handled by Zach Wilson, who's standing at the dugout steps waiting for his turn, which will come up third this inning. Continuing at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jared Mitchell, being played to pull because the wind's going to shove it that way, even if he doesn't hit it there. Ball 3 is outside. Now Hall risks giving up the leadoff walk. But Sanford has moved over toward right center. Galen deep and toward the line. And Trayvon Robinson is in left center. The infield is playing at a normal set. It's just those fly balls are carrying wildly on the breeze. Three and 2. Hall to the plate. He misses low and gives up the leadoff walk to Mitchell. Brooks Hall, not a guy prone to walking a lot of batters, but Mitchell works his way on here. Alexi Casilla will step in. Were it not for Casilla, the Barnstormers might be on the verge of yet another blowout this afternoon. Casilla making that great stop up the middle against Kyle Waldrop in the top half of this inning. Casilla was hit by a pitch back in the first. Hall will try and get another double play ground ball. He's only gotten 2 ground balls, but they've been at the right times. Throw goes to first. Mitchell is back in. Mitchell and Witherspoon are the 2 big base-stealing threats on this York Revolution ball club. Into the dirt, stopped by De La Rosa. Mitchell can't advance, but all of a sudden, Brooks Hall is struggling with his control. Ball 1 and no strikes to Casilla. Zach Wilson waiting on deck. Lancaster with a 2-0 lead here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. York with its leadoff runner aboard for the first time on the day. Throw to first base by Hall. Gunned over there, but Mitchell had it gauged. He's back in standing. Runner takes off. The pitch is a called strike. The throw by De La Rosa is bounced in, but on line, not in time, however. Mitchell has the steal. He is in scoring position. Alexi Casilla batting at a ball and a strike. De La Rosa's throw was right on line, but it came up about 15 feet short and bounced into free. It's still a fairly close play because the throw was right at the bag. Runner in scoring position for the Revolution. 1 ball, 1 strike to Casilla. Hall spins and bluffs the runner back to second base. Hall to the plate. Casilla tries to hold on the swing. The Barnstormers ask for help but get none. The pitch again low. 2 balls and a strike. Hall working to the Revolution the second time through the batting order. And all of a sudden, his control's gotten away. Here's the 2-1. That is pulled down the right field line and foul. It's sliced or hooked, actually, just enough. Landed foul by 3 or 4 feet down toward the York bullpen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hall peering in, getting the sign from his battery mate, Anderson De La Rosa. Asks Anderson to go through the signals once again. Here's the 2-2. Casilla drives a foul the other way. Hall has thrown more pitches already this inning than in any of the previous innings, and he still has not gotten an out here in the 4th. 2-2 on Casilla. Hall to the plate. That is pulled on the ground. Lunging stop by Terdoslavich, but Hall didn't get over to cover, and runners are safe at first and third. Joey Turdoslavich, a nice sprawling stop in the hole, but Casilla beat Hall to the bag. First and third now with nobody out. And that'll bring on the third baseman, Zach Wilson, who feasts on RBI situations against the Barnstormers. He's driven in 3 in this series. My guess is that Hall misread that play and started to back up home plate. And Casilla runs well enough that by the time Brooks headed over there, the runner had him beaten. So Wilson down and away for a ball, 1-0. So a problematic bottom half of the 4th inning. A great stop by Turdoslavich on a smash to his right, but he had nowhere to throw. Fly ball out to right field by Wilson. That's catching a ride on the breeze. It'll be good enough to score 1. Galen with the catch. Casilla starts towards second base. He'll pull up, but a sacrifice fly for Wilson. Driving in his 4th run of this young campaign. Mitchell comes across. York slices 1 off the Lancaster lead, and now with 1 out and Casilla still at first, Michael Burgess steps in. Burgess line to Sanford in center. Back in the 2nd inning. That run would have scored anyway, even if Casilla had been retired. Mitchell would have been at third with 1 out. So at least at this point, that mental mistake hasn't cost the Barnstormers too much. Inside a ball, 1-0 on Burgess. Lancaster 2, York 1 here in the bottom of inning 4. But again, you got to check those left on base totals. Barnstormers 35 in the series and York only 16. So Burgess popped up, and this could be an adventure. We'll see what the wind does. It's on the left side. Frias is going to call for it and make the catch. A quick throw back to first base, and Casilla is able to retreat. Right now, balls hit in the air can do a lot of crazy things, but Frias was pretty solidly underneath that. Up on the infield grass. 2 men are down. Here's Jose Tabata, the designated hitter, with a single back in the 2nd inning. It kind of surprised me when I looked at the career record and saw Tabata never actually spent a full season in Pittsburgh. He was up and down for so long. 2 outs. Casilla still a base runner and a strike recorded on the outer edge. It is 0-1. 2-1 Lancaster. Bottom of the 4th inning. An intriguing game on this chilly, breezy afternoon in York. We've seen 3 double plays. We have seen a Barnstormers home run, their first of the year. Here's the 0-1. Check swing by Tabata on a pitch in the dirt. De La Rosa bluffs down to first base, but Casilla was just about already back. One ball, 1 strike to Tabata. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, huge rip, but Hall is charged with a balk before it. He didn't come to a full stop apparently. And Casilla is allowed to go ahead to second base. The strike doesn't count. It's 1-1. And Brooks Hall inquires of the third base umpire, Michael Williams, exactly what he did or did not do to get the balk call. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner at second. Here's the pitch. Tabata with the same swing and a miss, and now it is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tying run out in scoring position to Tabata. 1-2. Breaking ball, check swing. Did he go? He did. And Tabata will concede the out. The Barnstormers come off the field. The pitch was in the dirt. De La Rosa formally applies the tag as Tabata heads back toward the dugout. Hall gets through the fourth inning. A difficult challenge, the only one he's really faced so far. It is 1 run on 1 hit with no errors and 1 man left on base. Concluding 4 here today at Peoples Bank Park. The Lancaster Barnstormers hold the lead, but now it is 2-1.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me. Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Tyler Bortnick leads off the 5th for the Barnstormers. He's 0 for 2. He's hit the ball hard both times to the right side. First pitch into close. Ball 1, no strikes. The scoreboard operator today has already given the Barnstormers a run in the top of the 5th inning. Fouled off to the right side, 1-1. Bortnick is slapped out to first, and he has flied out to the warning track and right. 0 for 2 on the day. I like this idea, staking the Barnstormers to a run in the 5th inning. Bortnick's leading off. Here's a 1-1 to him. Swing and a miss. Kind of chased a down and away breaking ball wildly there. 1-2. Take a look at the other action around the Atlantic League. First game of a doubleheader. The Road Warriors and Somerset are scoreless in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ball 2, down and away. Bortnick not tempted here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long Island has jumped on Southern Maryland for 5 runs in the top of the 1st inning, still batting in a single game at Regency Furniture Stadium. New Britain and Sugarland not yet started. 2-2 pitch, beaten foul over toward the Lancaster dugout. Bortnick sticks around. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Severino, the first starter for York to get to the 5th inning in the series. Gardner and Reed have each gone 5 for the Barnstormers. It's possible, depending on how the bottom of the 5th goes, that Hall could go 6. Here's a 2-2. Bortnick takes a slider low. The count filling out. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Barnstormers a game and a half out right now behind Sugarland, which has won both its games against New Britain so far. Little soft liner actually takes a bounce before it gets to Dent. Good, strong sidearm throw. Cuts down Bortnick. He's out 6-3. 1 out, and Bortnick may be feeling that in his hands for a while. He got jammed. Couldn't get the ball all the way on the fly to Dent. Ryan Dent made a beautiful play on it. 1 out, here's Galen. Blake is fly to center, and he is doubled to the alley in right center field. Nearly a spectacular play made by Travis Witherspoon. That drove in Lancaster's first run. Pitch to Blake here. is a fastball up, ball one, no strikes. Jake Easel, the winning pitcher in the game here on Friday night, now throwing in the bullpen for the Revolution. Galen gets ball two upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Terdoslavich is on deck. Joey is really starting to swing the bat well. He's 0 for 2 today, but he's mangled a pitch both times. He drilled one right at the feet of Dent, which was handled cleanly back in the first inning, and it flied out to the warning track. And Witherspoon, second time up. Galen spins a foul back over my head. 2 balls and a strike. That hit the facade of the stadium and kicked back down into the crowd. You've always got to be alert on those foul balls that go back over your head, because they might hit something and end up in your lap. 2 balls, 1 strike. Galen looks at ball 3, high and wide. To this point, the Barnstormers have been retired 1, 2, 3 in only 3 innings in this series. The 3-1 on Galen is ball 4 outside. They won't be here either. Blake is on with the 3rd walk issued by Severino in the ball game. Joey Terdoslavich will come to the plate. Again, a very hard 0 for 2 for Joey today. Witherspoon is going to patrol toward right center field. If Terdoslavich could hit the ball hard toward the left side of the batter's eye, he could run all day here. The pitch to Joey. Check swing, but it got the zone, at the top of the zone. No balls and 1 strike. Not counting the error, the Barnstormers have had 8 base runners today. Oh and 1. Terdoslavich looks at a ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. To add to the 59 that they've had in the first 3 games of the series. And that is a lot of traffic. 1 ball and 1 strike. Galen out to a lead, not going to go. Strike 2, tickling the outside edge on Terdoslavich. And unofficially, the 76th pitch thrown by Severino. Just 4 hits and 2 runs off of him. He has Terdoslavich 1 and 2. Robinson waits on deck. Galen leads. He's not going. The pitch is strike 3 called on the outside corner. Terdoslavich not in the least bit happy with Mario Rosas over those last 2 pitches. And he's giving some lip back toward Rosas and pleading his case to his teammates in the dugout as well. And a called 3rd strike. Terdoslavich looking at all 3 strikes on that plate appearance. Trayvon Robinson steps in. He has walked twice, batting here with 2 outs. Galen at first. And the pitch to Trayvon is topped up the line at first. A foul ball right at Josh Bell. 0-1 to Robinson. Lancaster ahead by 1 here in the 5th inning. Severino has turned in the best start so far for York. 0-1 pitch, sails very outside. A ball and a strike to Robinson. He's gone the deepest into the game. He's got an opportunity here to finish 5. And up around 80 pitches. So that's generally the first time or 2 through the rotation, about the limit. Trayvon bats at 1-1, swinging and missing at a breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes now from Dominic Severino. He has checked the hot-hitting Barnstormers on just 4 hits through 4 2/3 innings. Lancaster has also picked up 3 walks and had a batter hit. One and 2 to Robinson. Fastball is up. Ball 2 and 2 strikes. This is the first inning where Severino's had to throw 20 pitches. He's only on his 4th batter, deep into the count on everyone. Robinson digs in, 2-2. Kyle Waldrop is on deck. Galen goes. The pitch is a breaking ball, swung on and missed for strike 3. Severino strikes out the last 2 this inning. His 3 strikeouts have all come on the last 5 batters. No runs, no hits, no errors, and Lancaster leaves a man. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. That is the Lancaster Barnstormers 2 and the York Revolution 1.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark. Ruby Silva leads off the home half of the 5th inning against Brooks Hall. Hall has limited the Revolution to 2 hits so far. He has given up 1 run. He has walked 1, struck out 2. Battled through a quirky 4th inning, giving up only 1 run on a walk, an infield single, a stolen base, a balk, and a sacrifice fly. To Silva, first pitch fastball good for a strike. It is 0-1. There is nobody throwing in back of Hall in the Barnstormers bullpen. I would anticipate Severino will be coming out of the game. To Silva, he tries to bunt his way on, offers and misses. He's down at strike 2. Brooks has struck out 3. Working with the slim 1-run lead. This is the first pitcher's duel of sorts we have had between the starters in this series. Starting pitching on both sides has had some fairly lofty ERA numbers in the first 3 games of this series. Ball 1, 2 strikes now as Hall misses to Silva. On the Barnstormers side, 12 earned runs in 11 2/3 innings prior to today. York starters had given up just 6 runs in 11 innings, but just facing a lot of base runners, throwing a lot of pitches. 2-2, ground ball right side. Terdoslavich will get there. He will feed Hall, and Hall heads to the bag, gets the out on Silva, 3-1. 1 man down. And Ryan Dent, the shortstop, will come in. This wasn't quite the great stop that Terdoslavich made against Casilla last inning. But in this case, Hall headed straight for the bag, and they converted it 3-1. This will bring on Ryan Dent, the shortstop. Dent out on a called 3rd strike, back in the 3rd inning. Barnstormers head to Southern Maryland on Tuesday. 3 games. Steve Johnson will pitch on Tuesday. Tommy Shirley Wednesday. Joey Gardner will get the start on Thursday night, which will bring us back around to Jonathan Albaladejo for the home opener on Friday night. Star Wars night, but on top of that, all the the pomp and circumstance of opening night. Barnstormers and the Revs, the arch rivals from 26 miles apart, opposite sides of the Susquehanna River. The War of the Roses lives on, and it's not as big of a deal as when York came into the league back in 2007, the third year for the Lancaster Barnstormers. But there's still the Community Cup, and the teams wear the War of the Roses hats on opposite sides, swing and a miss. And for those of you who are following this game, maybe family members of the Barnstormers, it actually dates back to England centuries ago, the War of the Roses, the House of Lancaster and the House of York. Lancaster symbolized by the red rose, York by the white rose. Ball two balls and 2 strikes on Ryan Dent. And these two cities, not all that far apart, historically are rivals. Ball 3 missing to Dent now. 3-2. Dating back to 2007, York holds a 118-108 lead in the all-time series. Most of that was because of that dreadful 2010 season series, which still makes me shudder to think about it. 3-2 pitch, check swing, strike 3 called. The breaking ball got the outside corner. Dent is gone looking for the second time. That is strikeout number 4 for Brooks Hall. 2 away. The batter is the catcher, Luis Cruz. He flied to center field back in the third. The 2010 season series was painful. Each club has won the season series 5 times. There has been 1 split over the 11 years. But in 2010, York won 16 of the 20 inside off the glove of De La Rosa. Ball 1, no strikes. And scored 18 or more runs 4 different times. That was back in the days of Scott Grimes. They had that one game, 20 runs, 28 hits, and 60 total bases, which I believe tied the Major League record for a game. Ground ball here, right side. Should be easy for Tyler Bortnick. He handles and throws. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Hall. His second 1-2-3 inning, and the 4th time he's faced only 3 batters on the afternoon. Solid effort for Brooks Hall. He may very well get a 6th inning out of this. We'll go to the top half of inning number 6 with the score. The Lancaster Barnstormers 2 and the York Revolution 1.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like $20 on the spot, loaded with $20 prizes.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark. Jake Easel takes over on the hill for the York Revolution in the 6th inning. The Barnstormers do have action in their bullpen. We may have seen the last of Brooks Hall, but what a great start for him. Kyle Waldrop, Anderson De La Rosa, Vladimir Frias will step in against Easel. We saw him for 2 innings back on Friday night. He allowed 1 hit in his 2 innings of work. The red-hot Rico Noel had that. Again, Rico not 100% physically, and in the cold weather today, they don't want to take any chances. He should be back in the lineup on Tuesday. Kyle Waldrop at the plate. He is 0 for 2 today. Robbed of a base hit by Casilla his last time up. To Kyle, ball 1 is outside and low from Easel. 1 ball, no strikes. Jake Easel from Bonaire, Georgia. 27 years of age. As of Friday night, he won on his birthday, so the official scorer, who really had no choice but to give Easel the win, was able to do so on his 27th birthday. Fouled away by Waldrop. The count goes to 2-1. It is Garrett Granitz warming up in the bullpen for the Barnstormers. Granitz retired all 6 batters he faced here on Friday. Waldrop bats at 2-1. The pitch from Easel is outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Kyle just trying to earn a trip to the bases. Anderson De La Rosa is on deck. De La Rosa twice able to drive the ball to right field off of the starter Severino. The second time got it over the wall. Waldrop gets the walk. Ball 4 is high. The Barnstormers have their leadoff man aboard. And still only 3 times in this entire series the Barnstormers have gone down in 1-2-3 fashion. De La Rosa coming in, 1 out of 2 on the day. Severino, 4 hits, 2 runs in 5 innings, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, a hit batter, and a wild pitch. Not a bad performance for the York right-hander. De La Rosa digging in, and he looks at a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Waldrop does have a stolen base. The Barnstormers have not been able to employ their running game at all today. Severino did a nice job. The Barnstormers did try to hit and run a few times, and on every occasion put the ball in play at somebody. De La Rosa ground ball to third, could be 2. That's handled by Wilson out at second. Casilla pegs back to first, and a double play. The Barnstormers now have hit into 2 in the ball game here this afternoon. Waldrop in the 4th inning. De La Rosa here in the 6th. Vladimir Frias has gone 0 for 2 today. Is flied out and reached on an error. He will step in. That was a very easy double play. 1 hop right to Zach Wilson over at third. Lancaster had 4 double plays turned against them last night. 1 on a strike him out, throw him out. They grounded into 3. Frias tries to bunt his way on, but fouls it back. Down a strike. It is 0-1. Lancaster 2, York 1 here in the 6th inning. Plenty of Major League Baseball underway this afternoon. The Rays over the Red Sox 3-0 through 5.5 innings. Baltimore owns a 3-1 lead on Detroit in the 6th. Toronto's up 4-1 over Texas through 5. Outside, ball 1 to Vladimir Frias. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. Cleveland trails Seattle 5-2 in the 6th inning. Miami with a 2-0 edge over Colorado in the 7th. Frias, here's the 1-1. Vladimir takes a second strike on the outside corner. Severino, by the way, threw 83 pitches. So that's a lot for the first start of the year. They let him go. He pitched well. Braves over the Phils 6-0 in the 4th inning. St. Louis and Pittsburgh, no score through 4. Frias gets a piece, fouls it back. He will stay in against Easel. Nats over the Diamondbacks 3-0 with play in the bottom of the 3rd. A's are up 1-0 in the third inning at Houston. Cincinnati leading Minnesota 2-0 in the second. White Sox and the Royals scoreless in the second. Frias gets ball 2 away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brewers and the Cubs scoreless in the second inning. Out west, Mets at the Padres. Dodgers are at the Giants. And the Yankees will play the Angels tonight on the national cable game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Frias hits one off the hands, lining it softly straight at the third baseman, Wilson. It'll end the inning. The Barnstormers again with a promising beginning, a leadoff walk, but nothing ever developed. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And at the end of 5 1/2, the score remains Lancaster 2 and York 1.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding third row. Room for up to 7.
Yeah, we should do today.
And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL Hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
Garrett Granitz takes over for Brooks Hall as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning. A fine start for Hall. 5 innings of work, allowing only 2 hits. They were both singles. 1 run, it was earned. He walked 1, struck out 4, hit a batter, and was charged with a balk. 65 pitches, that was it, thrown by Hall this afternoon. 42 of them for strikes. Travis Witherspoon leads off the 6th against Granitz, who pitched 2 perfect innings here on Friday. The first pitch by Garrett is off the outside corner, ball 1, no strikes. Witherspoon saw Granitz on Friday night and flied out to right field. Garrett, the 31-year-old submarine stylist, gets a swing and a foul ball back. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. He had a chance to talk to Garrett during the preseason. Connection to Madison, Wisconsin. I worked there for 3 years. It's his hometown, that area, technically Sun Prairie, which is just northeast of Madison in the suburbs. Ball 2 is outside, 2 balls and a strike. Wonderful city, Madison, Wisconsin. I suppose it's fitting that Granitz gets into a game like this because it's a more northern type climate. Called second strike. It is 2-2. On Travis Witherspoon, Jared Mitchell on deck, and then Alexi Casilla. Lancaster with a slim 1-run lead here in the 6th inning. Garrett remembers in his very young years going to Warner Park in Madison to follow the Madison Muskies. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Witherspoon crossed up. He goes down looking. Granitz has the first out. Now the left-handed batting Mitchell will step in. Mitchell doubled off Granitz in the preseason. And then Garrett retired 6 in a row. Today, Mitchell has scored the only York run after walking back in the 4th inning. Left-hander Robert Carson has begun to loosen up in the York bullpen. 4th game of the series. The Revs won the first 2. The Barnstormers won huge last night. Here's a pitch to Mitchell. Twists inside. Ball one, no strikes. I had left Madison before one Garrett Granitz came into the world. To Mitchell. Ball two is inside. 2-0. Now in Madison, they no longer have the Muskies are for 1 or 2 seasons, the Mad Hatters. And they were a St. Louis affiliate. The Muskies were with Oakland. They moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan eventually. Ground ball slowly hit toward the second baseman. Charging is Bortnick. Flip over to first. Mitchell retired. 2 up and 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. Alexi Casilla will step in. Casilla has been hit by a pitch, and he has reached on an infield single. 1 out of 1 for the switch hitting second baseman today. Guy who simply gives the Barnstormers fits. Although Lancaster did return the favor last night, because last night was one of those games where Casilla just couldn't get to anything. He was racing after balls to his left, to his right, back into the outfield, and everything just out of his grasp last night. Part of that Barnstormer 20-hit attack. Foul ball back here against Granite. It's 0-1. 2 outs, bases clear. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Lancaster up 2-1. But Granite's knew enough about the history of the Muskies, even before he was born, to know that Jose Canseco played there. Mark McGuire did not. Canseco did. And a number of the other players who were part of that Oakland A's team of the late 80s. Breaking ball just outside and low. 2 balls, 1 strike here to Casilla. Terry Steinbach, Luis Polonia, Tim Belcher. Those were the bigger names. 2-1 pitch. A hack toward third and a little scooter foul. That was almost a swinging bunt by Casilla. Garcia charged the play, but it was well across the line by the time he got there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Wilson, the on-deck batter. He's driven in the only run for York today. No surprise there. Here's a 2-2. Casilla swings and rips it to Terdoslavich. Joey handling it toward the line. Takes it to the bag himself. 3 unassisted. Garrett Granitz remains perfect on the young campaign. He's 3 up and 3 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. And at the end of 6, the Barnstormers still enjoy a 2-1 lead.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
One-time New York Met, Robert Carson, with his third Atlantic League team now, comes in out of the bullpen for the York Revolution, taking over for Jake Ezel, who walked one and faced only 3 batters last inning. Carson earned the save here on Thursday night, the only save we've had in this series. He is facing Carlos Garcia, who will bat right-handed for the first time. Garcia squares to bunt and then takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Carson did not necessarily pitch all that effectively the other night, but he held the Barnstormers' base running game effectively. He allowed 4 of the 7 batters he faced to reach, but 2 guys were thrown out stealing, and he got a double play in there as well. Inside to Garcia, ball 1, strike 1. Carlos today has singled and been hit by a pitch. He has a run scored. He is 4 out of 5 on the young season. That's all from the left side of the plate. We'll see if he can have success right-handed as well and get something going, some insurance here in the 7th inning. Carson goes to work, 1-1. Breaking ball hangs up outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Carlos Garcia. Darian Sanford on deck, and then Tyler Bortnick. Lancaster took a 1-0 lead on an RBI double by Blake Galen in the 3rd and added to the lead on Anderson De La Rosa's home run in the 4th inning. A sac fly by Zach Wilson, bringing York back into the game in the bottom of the 4th to make it 2-1, and we stayed there. Inside, and Carlos Garcia bats at 3 balls and a strike. Left-hander Jared Lakin warming up in the Lancaster bullpen with Wilson, Burgess, and Tabitadu in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Barnstormers today, 3 different innings, have gotten a leadoff walk. Garcia up there 3-1. He's going to swing away and miss. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Carson allowed 3 singles and a walk. Singles to Castile, Robinson, and Noel the other night, and a walk to Sanford. Payoff pitch to Carlos Garcia, 3-2, swung on and missed. Carson strikes out the leadoff batter in the Barnstormers half of the 7th inning. Darian Sanford to the plate. Darian's 1 for 3 today. The last Barnstormers base hit, the home run by De La Rosa in the 4th inning. Sliced down the right field line, just getting up onto the deck. First Lancaster home run, and to this point, only Lancaster home run of the season. First pitch strike in on Darian. It is 0-1. York has the 1 lefty starter in Ross Detweiler and 2 relievers in Carson and Luke Westfall from the left side. Ground ball, base hit left field for Sanford. A 2-hit game for Darian. The other night, he ran on Carson's first move. Carson fired to first. The relay throw cut down Darian at second, but not in Darian's mind, nor in the mind of Ross Peoples. Ross went out to argue that call, and if you know Ross, he has to really know that he is in the right before he will go out and argue. I certainly believe he's in the right. He doesn't carry on very often. Carson fires to first. Sanford is back in. And the Barnstormers, for the 16th straight inning, have at least 1 runner on base. Time call, the ball getting loose from the Lancaster bullpen, where I believe it is Isaac Wenrick, who is warming up Lakin. Sanford the runner. Carson will come to the plate. Bortnick fouls it off. Tyler down a strike. Bortnick today is 0 for 3. Still just 1 hit for him on the season. It's looked like he's swinging the bat all right. Just things, especially today, not falling in for him. Fastball runs outside. Ball 1, strike 1. The always dangerous Darian Sanford, the runner at first base. Amazingly, the Barnstormers in a 2-1 game today have not stolen a base. York has done a pretty good job holding down the Lancaster running game the last couple of days, in fact. To Bortnick, Tails back to the inside corner. Strike 2 called. Blake Galen, a left-handed batter exclusively, waits on deck. The Bortnick 1-2 instead. A throw goes to first, and that almost got away. Burgess had to reach around Darian Sanford and nearly fall down toward right field to handle that somewhat errant throw. If that gets away, Sanford probably ends up at third. Here's a 1-2. Bortnick busts his bat, hits a roller toward third. Up with it is Wilson. His only play across the diamond to first base. Burgess has to reach back with his left foot to get the bag. 5-3. Sanford moves to second. Blake Galen stepping in. Galen doubled in a run in the third. Blake is just off to a solid start. It's not been spectacular, but he has 3 doubles, 3 runs batted in, and he's 5 for 14. Now, that's a good start. But Galen, so capable of just single-handedly carrying the team and putting up garish numbers. I mean, it's April. He'll take it. Sanford leads from second base to Galen. Good-looking breaking ball to start him off with a strike. It is 0-1. Lancaster 2, York 1 in the 7th inning. Barnstormers look for insurance here. 0-1 to Galen. That is high, and it had the catcher, Cruz, crossed up. Cruz had it hit off the heel of his glove and dropped straight down. That held Sanford at second base. Barnstormers really haven't had many opportunities today with runners in scoring position. They're just 1 for 5. Galen takes ball 2 below the knees. It's 2-1. Now, last night got to be a little bit crazy. If I remember, I think the Barnstormers were 9 for 18 with runners in scoring position last night. Most of that coming in the 6th inning. Galen trying to bring home an insurance run here, facing Carson at 2-1. Left-hander rears back, brings it home, and fires a fastball. It's a second strike. Blake in there, 2-2. Joey Terdoslavich on deck. He'll bat right-handed if he faces Carson. And he would this inning. It's up to Galen to extend it. 2 outs, Sanford at second. Galen really being played to pull in the outfield here. Here's the pitch. Blake pops it up on the left side, foul territory, and then almost back into fair territory, a lunging catch made by the catcher, Luis Cruz. Galen fouls out, and the Barnstormers turned away again in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Time for the 7th inning stretch at Peoples Bank Park. Lancaster continues to lead by a score of 2-1.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu. Jared Lakin on for the Lancaster Barnstormers as we advance to the bottom half of the seventh inning. It is Jared's second appearance in this series. He struck out 2 and got a ground ball the other night in the sixth inning of play on Thursday, facing largely the same segment of the order. He'll deal with Zach Wilson leading off. He struck Wilson out on Thursday night. Today, Wilson is grounded into a double play on a comebacker to Hall, and he's driven in the only run for York on a sacrifice fly to right in the fourth inning. Lakin ready to go, and he misses the inside corner. Ball 1, no strikes. Garrett Granite's perfect in the sixth. Got 2 ground outs and 1 called third strike. Wilson batting 1-0. Jared Lakin back into the motion and misses with that. It bounces all the way to the screen. 2 balls and no strikes. Jared Lakin, left-hander from Cypress, Texas. First year in the Atlantic League. He's been with the Pirates and Marlins in the minor leagues previously. He is 26 years of age, 6'2", 205-pounder. Round ball, shortstop. With it is Frias. He'll pump it across the diamond. Wilson retired 6-3, 1 gone. Here in the seventh inning, Barnstormers pitching has retired the last 10 batters. Michael Burgess 0 for 2 will come to the plate. Jared Lakin's family business wouldn't be thriving today in York, but when you're in the suburbs of Houston, Texas, and you run an ice cream shop, you can get some pretty good business, probably 360 out of the 365 days of the year. Ice cream is not necessarily a palatable option here today. Palatable. It would taste good. Ground ball left side. The shift was on, and the third baseman Garcia kicks it, and Burgess is aboard on an error. Carlos Garcia to his left had a fairly routine play on that ground ball, but he just mishandled it. The Barnstormers are guilty of an error, and the tying run is on with 1 out here in the seventh inning. Jose Tabata stepping in. Tabata has singled and struck out. Each side guilty of an error today. Burgess fumbled a ground ball by Frias earlier. Each side with 2 errors in the series. The Barnstormers will set up at double play depth against Tabata. Lakin will come to the set. His pitch to Tabata, swing and a miss. He couldn't hold. No balls and 1 strike. Garcia went for that ground ball from Burgess, which was hit in the normal direction of shortstop. Should have been handled, but he couldn't quite dig it up. Ball is low, and Tabata bats 1-1. Ruby Silva's on deck. Melky Mesa started for the Revs last night, doubled, and came out of the game and was placed on the disabled list by the Revs today. They said on the disabled list on the announcements, the roster lists him on the inactive. One or the other, he's not available. 1-1, breaking ball, and that missed. It looked like Rosas wanted to call it a strike. He was tempted to, and he never did. Now 2-1 on Tabata. Barnstormers with action in the bullpen. I would imagine a right-hander getting ready in case this inning gets all the way to Ryan Dent. And it is Jesus Sanchez warming up on the Barnstormer side. Again, we cannot see. We have to be informed by people who have a look at the camera. Foul ball back. 2-2 now on Tabata. From El Tigre, Venezuela, but now lives in Florida. Jose Tabata, 29 years old, 5'11" and 210 pounds. Two balls, two strikes, one out. Burgess represents the tying run at first. He's not a major steal threat. Lake into the plate. Tabata gets ball 3 high. A full count now. And the option is there to start Burgess. Again, Michael Burgess, not necessarily a guy known for great speed. A little bit more of, I hate to use this term, roly-poly build for Burgess. He's 5'11", 220. And hasn't stolen a base since 15. 3-2. The runner will stay put, and there's a slow roller on the left side and a foul ball off the foot of Tabata. It rolled out to Garcia, who was looking for a possible double play on that, but the reason it appeared so easy is that Burgess had pulled up aware the ball was foul. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Getting to be a little bit of a precarious spot for the Barnstormers in this lower half of the 7th inning because of the error. Otherwise, you've got 2 outs, a runner at first, or no runner, and you can work on Tabata. But it's 3-2 here. Lakeland has the sign from De La Rosa. Payoff pitch is on the way. This is knocked foul out of play down the right field side. We'll continue at 3-2. Barnstormers have led since a Blake Galen 2-out RBI double to right center field back in the 3rd inning. Just missed on a diving try by Travis Witherspoon. And it's been 2-1 since the Wilson sac fly in the 4th. We're in the bottom of the 7th. 3-2. Lakeland will go to work on Tabata. The pitch swung on and fouled. De La Rosa couldn't quite handle it. Will stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes. But Lakeland has almost had Tabata twice, but can't seem to get rid of him. That one in and out of Anderson De La Rosa's catcher's mitt on the foul tip from Tabata. (3-2). The motion, the payoff pitch. Ground ball sharply hit to third. This is handled by Garcia awkwardly. He'll get the out at second. The throwback to first from Bortnick is wild and gets away from Terdoslavich. A wide turn by Tabata. He decides to hold on as Terdoslavich hustled and got that at the screen. Ground ball to the backhand side of Carlos Garcia, but before he could get rid of the throw, he fell down. He still got off the force out. But by then, the timing on the double play was disrupted. Bortnick tried to rush the throw back to first against Tabata and threw it away. Fortunately, no error there. It's 2 outs. Tabata, the runner at first base, and here is Ruby Silva, left on left against Lakeland. I thought we might see a pinch hitter here for Silva, but Mark Mason is short the one body. Here's the pitch. Silva can't hold on the swing. A breaking ball down and away. He is somewhat low on outfielders with Mesa injured. And I thought we might see somebody like a Jose Cuevas here in this situation. The 0-1, swing and a miss again. It is 0-2. And Silva is 1 out of 13 in this series, trying to dig out of an 0-2 hole here. 2 outs. with Tabata, the runner, at first base. Lakin has gotten 3 straight ground balls. Could be out of the inning. 0-2 on Silva. Tabata takes off. The pitch is low. The throw by De La Rosa is late. Tabata got a great jump. And the tying run is now in scoring position. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. The count on Ruby Silva. De La Rosa made a throw right on the money, but it was a tough pitch to handle. It was low. And with the good start that Tabata got, he was in rather easily. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Silva. Lakin ready to go. The motion, the pitch, and Silva lines this. 1 hop and bobbled up the middle by Frias. He'll throw behind Tabata at third. That is late. Now, Lakin can't catch a break from the defense. This one could go as a base hit. It was hit well up the middle. Frias was there, got a glove on it, couldn't control it. And runners are at first and third. It will be an infield single for Silva. Now Ryan Dent comes to the plate with the tying run at third, the lead run at first. And all Lakin has done is gotten 4 ground balls. Anything that might score would be unearned. And now Ross Peoples is on his way out. Is he making the signal to pull the left-hander? He's got Sanchez warming up in the bullpen. They're going to talk about it first. And now Ross makes the signal to Mike Williams to head on down and retrieve Sanchez from the bullpen. Well, Jared Lakin leaves in some trouble here in the 7th inning, but trouble he absolutely did not create. He did everything he could to get out of this inning. 4 ground balls. It could have been 4 straight ground ball outs in the 7th inning. Instead, he departs with runners at first and third and 1 away. Burgess reaching on the error and then a potential double play ball. The Barnstormers unable to find the timing on that as Garcia fell down. And Silva hits a ball toward the middle. Frias gets a glove on it, knocks it down, couldn't control it. And Lakin leaves with runners at first and third. Sanchez will take over. And while we have the pitching change, we're going to take a break and pause for these messages.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Five foot 11-inch Jesus Sanchez on in relief for the Barnstormers here in a tight spot in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at first, 2 outs in the inning. Sanchez gave up a hit and a walk in 2/3 of an inning here on Thursday in his Atlantic League debut. Sanchez, a one-time catcher, now working on the hill, facing shortstop Ryan Dent, who has struck out twice looking today on breaking balls from Brooks Hall. First pitch in the dirt, saved by De La Rosa. Ball 1, no strikes. Tabata aboard at third. Silva is on at first. The ball has not left the infield in this inning. Ball 1-0. Sanchez comes set to Dent. Ball 2 is low. Catcher Luis Cruz waiting on deck. And he may be salivating right about now. York with the opportunity to turn this game around in the 7th inning. The Barnstormers, to this point, have pitched brilliantly this afternoon. 2 balls and nothing. Sanchez will go to work on Dent. De La Rosa sets the target. The pitch missing again, 3-0. Barnstormers have had the better share of the scoring chances today. Here's a 3-0. Sanchez finds the range. A called strike, 3-1. Venezuelan, born and raised, Jesus Sanchez, gone back home annually to pitch winter baseball, but now lives in Texas. 3 balls, 1 strike to Ryan Dent as York tries to, at the minimum, tie the game here in the 7th inning. Sanchez from the set, 3-1 on the way. Ball 4 is low. Good stop made by De La Rosa. Now the bases are loaded, and a base hit by Luis Cruz could put York ahead in the ball game. Cruz is 0 for 2. He has flied to center and grounded to second. A must out here for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Cruz, 2 for 6 on the season. Man who hit .276 with 5 home runs in York a year ago. The defense set straight up against him. The wind and the pitch to Cruz. It is high, ball 1. Sanchez is missed with 5 of 6. Tyler Bortnick coming in for a pinch of the rosin bag. And are they going to consider this a timeout? And they do. The Barnstormers are being charged with a timeout, but they had not used one previously. As Bortnick came over. 1 ball, no strikes. The count on the catcher, Cruz. Lancaster's lead is hanging by a thread in this 7th inning. An error on a 1-out ground ball, a 2-out infield base hit, and now a walk. 1-0 on Cruz. Sanchez will bring it home. That's a strike at the knees. 1-1. The sun has vanished again. We have a couple of tiny patches of blue overhead, but for the most part, thick gray clouds. Here's a 1-1. Cruz gets ball 2 below the knees. Travis Witherspoon, the center fielder, is on deck. This is a similar part of the order to what Sanchez faced the other night. Witherspoon got him for a base hit to right field. Dent had lined out against him. 2-1, and a Cruz. Ball 3 is low. It looks like Sanchez is overthrowing. And he's 1 ball away from walking in the tying run. Anything to Lakin would be unearned here. He should have been out of this inning long ago. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count on Cruz. And Jesus Sanchez has to fight off the ropes here. Tabata at third, Silva at second, Dent at first. The motion, the pitch, line towards center, charging in Sanford. He won't be there. 1 run scores. Here comes number 2, and York has a 3-2 lead as Luis Cruz singles into center field, knocking in 2 runs. And part of the reason that York is up 2-1 in this series has been the multi-run base hit. They have had him at key situations. Cruz delivers with the bases loaded. Both runs are charged to Lakin. They are unearned. Ryan Dent stayed at second on the Cruz base hit. Now here is Travis Witherspoon. Just the 4th hit of the day for the York Revolution, but now the Barnstormers are going to have to play from behind. And a Witherspoon inside almost hit him, ball 1. Sanchez making his first appearances in the United States since back in 2014 when he was in AAA with the Miami Marlins at New Orleans, when they were still the Zephyrs and not the Baby Cakes. Ground ball towards shortstop, handled by Frias. He'll go to Bortnick for the force out. That comes one batter too late as York picks up 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 men were left on base. A couple of unearned runs for York in the bottom of the 7th, and now the Barnstormers have to play from behind at the end of 7. York 3 and Lancaster 2.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Luke Westfall now takes over for the York Revolution. Their second left-hander, Robert Carson, is in line for the win. He worked the 7th inning, giving up 1 hit and striking out 1. The Barnstormers faced Westfall here on Friday night. He pitched the 7th inning, gave up a double to Galen and an infield base hit to Robinson. He'll be facing Trdoslavich, Robinson, and Waldrop in the 8th inning. Conceivably, you could see a pinch hitter for Waldrop. Russ did that on Thursday night with Ryan Castile, and you could see a similar move here in the 8th inning. We'll see if York has further plans in the bullpen. As of the moment, nobody is warming up that way. Joey Trdoslavich today is 0 for 3. He is grounded out sharply, flied out to the warning track in right center on a recovered bobble by Travis Witherspoon. Last time up, he went down looking at a called third strike from Dominic Severino. Luke Westfall into the motion to Trdoslavich. Swatted foul, slicing out a play to the right. It is 0-1. Once again, the Barnstormers have had more base runners in the game today, though not to the extent that we have seen earlier in this series, but they've left 7 on and York only 3. The Revs have been very opportunistic in this weekend series. They've taken advantage of virtually every Barnstormer defensive mistake. Line drive off the glove of Burgess, trickling into the hole. Casilla recovers, throws back to Burgess, and they still somehow get the out. 3-4-3 heads-up play by Alexi Casilla, but also by Burgess. Westfall wasn't going to get there. Burgess came back, and handled that throw just ahead of the arrival of one Joey Terdoslavich. One out here in the 8th inning. It looked like the Barnstormers would have their leadoff man on base. A line drive ticked off the glove of Burgess. Casilla recovered it, and Burgess had the presence of mind to get back to the bag. Here is Trayvon Robinson, who has walked twice and struck out. Westfall has 1 out in the inning. The Barnstormers just 5 outs left to work with here. Trayvon gets a fastball outside. Ball 1, no strikes. Westfall from Green Bay, Wisconsin. He and Grannis can get together and talk about the Packers. Westfall, 28 years of age, 6'3", 230. He misses to Robinson again. This one's inside and low, 2 balls and no strikes. York 3, Lancaster 2 in the 8th inning. Westfall, one of the 12 returning players from last year's championship club. To Robinson. Trayvon looks at a strike, and the count goes to 2-1. Westfall had been in the Minnesota organization for a couple of years. Got as high as AA Chattanooga. Originally pitched in the Frontier League with the Gateway Grizzlies. 2-1, swinging a foul by Robinson out of play to the right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And out in the on-deck circle, we do see Ryan Castile instead of Kyle Waldrop. 3-2 York. Some papers blowing across the outfield, that kind of day. Westfall is ready to Robinson. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Trayvon has gone on strikes for the 2nd straight at bat. Castile will step in. The Barnstormers starting to run out of territory to come back in this game. The double play started by Casilla back in the 4th inning, kept the Barnstormers from blowing it open early. And then the runs scored by York today have been largely off of some Lancaster mistakes. Here's a pitch to the pinch hitter Castile, who succeeded as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning with a base hit leading off here on Thursday. Ryan caught last night. He was 2 for 5. He's 4 for 11 on the year. The pitch to him hit in the air toward right center field. This one will hang. Witherspoon over toward right center, puts it away. The Barnstormers retired in 1-2-3 fashion in the 8th inning. De La Rosa, Frias, and Garcia. What will come up in the 9th? It's York 3 and Lancaster 2.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS350 and IS300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids Base Run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark. Barnstormers go to left-hander Matt Marksberry as we go to the bottom half of the eighth inning. Marksberry will be facing the top of the order, Mitchell, Casilla, and Wilson. Second appearance for Matt. He was clean here on Friday night. Faced 6 batters, retired all of them, striking out 2. Here's Jared Mitchell. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. He came across on a Zach Wilson sacrifice fly back in the 4th inning that made it 2-1. The Barnstormers offense has gone into a stall. They should have never hit the home run, I guess. Anderson De La Rosa did so back in the 4th inning, the only one they've hit all year, and there hasn't been a hit since then for Lancaster. Breaking ball is high. Ball 1 to Jared Mitchell. It's 1-0 from Marksberry, 6'1" southpaw from Cincinnati. One-time Atlanta Brave. Marksberry comes back. There's a bunt line foul. Mitchell trying to find a way aboard. 1 ball and 1 strike. Only 4 hits for York. They've all been singles, but they've been able to parlay some misplays and just take advantage of everything. They've left only 3 runners on. To Mitchell, he shows bunt again, takes a breaking ball down low, 2 balls and a strike. The Barnstormers have De La Rosa, Frias, and Garcia scheduled in the 9th inning. And there is action in the York bullpen. We have yet to see someone established as a closer for the Revolution. The 2-1 offering gets away from De La Rosa, high and outside, 3 balls and a strike. And again, it looked like Mitchell showed bunt. Marksberry is low. He walks Mitchell leading off. It cost a run the last time it happened in this game. Alexi Casilla coming to the plate. He is 1 for 2, and he's been hit by a pitch. He'll bat right-handed against Marksberry. Jared Lakeland is on the hook for the loss, but he absolutely should receive no blame whatsoever. He could have had 4 outs instead of 2. Casilla shortens the bunt. He gets a pitch down low. Ball 1 and no strikes. The Revs with a 3-2 lead, trying to take 3 out of 4 in this opening weekend series. And they've got the Road Warriors coming in here on Tuesday. But the Road Warriors, not a bad ball club. I've seen that roster. They got a great starting effort from Kelvin Villa, an Atlantic League veteran the other night who resurfaced. It's been a few years, I think, since Kelvin's been around. Casilla's up there now, 2 balls and no strikes. Road Warriors in Somerset got rained out last night. Somerset has won the opener today, 1-0. Ball 3. Marksberry can't find the range. Three balls and nothing. Mitchell held at first base. Ball 4 is inside. Marksbury has walked 2 in a row. Troubling to say the least. And Ross Peoples is going to take the club's second timeout. All of a sudden, it's York getting all the runners on base. The Barnstormers in the top of this inning went down 1-2-3 for only the 4th time in the series in 35 innings. Everybody is gathering around the left-hander Matt Marksbury right now, except for Darian Sanford, who is leaning on the LED board out in left center field, taking a respite in that direction. It probably out of the wind. He is likely to be sheltered in that spot. Mitchell's at second. Casilla is at first. The mound conference breaks up, and Ross Peoples, who has donned a ski hat, heads back to the dugout. He's not going to be needing that this week. Temperature's supposed to take a dramatic upturn here over the next couple of days. To Wilson, a strike on the inside corner. It is 0-1. Wilson is 0 for 2 today with a sacrifice fly. 3 for 11 in the series. He can do some harm here. Back-to-back walks issued by Matt Marksbury to start off the 8th inning. The runners go. The pitch is low. De La Rosa can't find the handle. Mitchell to third. Casilla to second on the double steal. And that is 4 successful stolen bases for York in the ball game today, and the speedy Barnstormers have none. York pulling out Barnstormers baseball. Now they're going to walk Wilson, and Michael Burgess will go left on left against Marksbury. Well, it's 3 straight walks officially, opening up the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Revolution with an opportunity now to put this game out of sight. York 3, Lancaster 2 on a 2-out bases loaded single last inning by Luis Cruz. Barnstormers are going to bring everybody in. Ball gets loose from the York bullpen meanwhile, so Burgess is still lingering outside of the batter's box. The Garcia, Frias, Bortnick, Turdoslavich, all at the edge of the infield grass. Anything's coming to the plate as Marksbury goes to work on Burgess. He was the man who reached on the error last inning, and that created a mess. Swing and a miss. Marksbury starts him off with a strike at his 0-1. Right-handed hitting Jose Tabata waits on deck. Lancaster missed a chance to turn a double play on him last inning. 0-1. Burgess swings and misses again. Marksbury gains an edge at 0-2. If Marksbury could get the strikeout here, then he could set his defense up for an inning-ending double play. Meanwhile, the Barnstormers with Kevin Munson warming up in the bullpen. He struck out Tabata last night, may be called upon to do it again. But that remains to be seen. I don't think he's had enough time to get warmed up. Ball 1 low, 1-2 on Burgess. Mitchell at third, Casilla at second, Wilson at first. York trying to expand upon a 3-2 lead in this bottom half of the 8th inning. Marksbury is ready. The pitch fouled to the screen. We remain at 1-2. Wind still stretching out the flag, pointing from left across to right, and occasionally a gust of wind will come up where the flag is almost straight out toward right field. 1-2, and here is the pitch, high to Burgess, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marksbury fighting his control here in the 8th inning. He needs a strikeout, a pop-up, or a very weak ground ball right here, or a ground ball at somebody. The 2-2 pitch. He got him a swing and a miss at the high heat, and Burgess is upset with himself for being tempted there. Slamming his bat to the ground. Big first out for Marksberry here in the 8th inning. Now the designated hitter, Tabata, is coming to the plate. Do the Barnstormers have a counter move? I don't know that Munson's been warming up long enough. You got a left-handed batter on deck and Ruby Silva, so it looks like it will be Marksberry against Tabata here in the 8th inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. Tabata has singled, struck out, and reached on a fielder's choice. Marksberry is outside, ball 1 and no strikes. The middle infielders are able to settle back at normal double play depth. And Garcia backing up a bit over at third. Terdoslavich is on the edge of the grass at first base. Ball hit to him would come home. Ball hit to Marksberry would come home. Tabata with a looper foul into the first base seats now. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. Lancaster trying to stay within 1 in the bottom half of the 8th inning and give themselves a shot in the 9th. The Barnstormers have still outscored York in this series. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tabata, another foul ball to the right side. Marksberry has him at 1-2. Matt Marksberry, high energy guy out on the hill. Got to the major leagues very quickly with the Atlanta Braves, but did not stay terribly long. Has a shot at getting back. 1-2, swung on and missed. He puts down Tabata, that's 2. And now Ruby Silva will come to the plate. Silva with a single back in the 7th inning, his 2nd hit of the year on a ball slapped toward the middle. It came off the glove of Vladimir Frias for a split second anyway. It looked like Vladimir would make the play on that, but he lost the grip, and that extended the inning. Like I said, Jared Lakin faced 4 batters and conceivably could have gotten 4 outs. Instead, right now, he would be the losing pitcher on 2 unearned runs. Here's the pitch to Silva. Ground ball right side. Bortnick will handle and feed the shortstop Frias. Matt Marksberry is able to wiggle out of the 8th inning after walking the bases loaded. It is no runs, no hits, no errors, and 3 men left on base by York. The Barnstormers are still in it. We'll go to the 9th. It is York 3 and Lancaster 2.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like $20 on the spot, loaded with $20 prizes.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark. Right-hander Junior Rincon is going to be asked to wrap things up this afternoon for the York Revolution, but the Barnstormers have been able to stay within one, and they will send Anderson De La Rosa to the plate to get things started in this top half of the ninth inning. Vladimir Frias is the on-deck batter, and after him would be Carlos Garcia. Barnstormers without a base hit since De La Rosa's home run back in the fourth inning. And they let a one-time 2-0 lead get away in this game, and now have to make up a run in this top half of the ninth, or they'll drop 3 out of 4 here on opening weekend. 5 hits for the Barnstormers to 4 for York. But York has drawn 5 walks to the Barnstormers 4. Each team has had a batter hit by a pitch, and there's been 1 error each way. So statistically, this game is dead even. The Barnstormers actually have the extra base hits, but they trail by a run. Here is De La Rosa. He has lined to right, homered to right, and grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. Rincon to De La Rosa, strike 1 to the inside corner. Rincon here on Friday night got De La Rosa to pop up the second. He threw one of the handful of 1-2-3 innings for the York staff in this series. Anderson batting 0-1. A check swing and a second strike. 0-2 to Anderson. Nobody's been able to take advantage of that wind blowing out toward right field since a lot of balls blew that way in the third and fourth innings, and that's where the Barnstormers scored their runs. Here's the 0-2 pitch. De La Rosa grounds it foul off his foot right to the third baseman, Wilson. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Optimistically, the Barnstormers have action in the bullpen in case they are able to fight back with a run here in this ninth inning. Nothing in 2 to De La Rosa. Rincon to the plate. Check swing. The ball in the dirt. Cruz will recover it and fire down to first. De La Rosa out 2-3. Rincon has the first out here in the ninth inning. That brings on Vladimir Frias, who's 0 for 3 today. He has reached on an error. Fly to center and lined out to third on a sort of soft line drive. One man retired in this ninth inning. Again, the Barnstormers last year won 9 games when they trailed entering the ninth inning. Carson got the save on Thursday. Swinging a foul tip by Frias. Tell you this, Rincon, a guy who's only pitched at Double-A level, looks awfully good. The Barnstormers have yet to get a base runner on against him. He is throwing hard, and it looks like he is York's closer. Frias with a foul ball off to the left and out of play, trailing no balls and 2 strikes. Junior Rincon from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, 6'2", 185-pounder, 26 years of age. Pitched in the Milwaukee and Atlanta organizations. And here's the 0-2. Frias takes strike 3 called on the outside corner. Every pitch a strike. There have been 7 of them thrown by Rincon, 2 outs, and it's up to Carlos Garcia to extend the ball game. In his career, right about a strikeout per inning for Rincon, 172 strikeouts, 171 and 2/3 innings, but he had allowed between hits and walks 300 base runners. We're seeing nothing of the like here. He had a 1.75 career whip. That he has retired everybody he's faced as a York Revolution pitcher. And to Garcia, ball low, first time he has missed. 1 ball, no strikes. Darian Sanford waiting on deck. The Barnstormers are down to their last out on this Sunday afternoon. Here's the motion. And a Garcia line drive and a base hit into right center field. They're alive for Sanford. The second hit of the day for Garcia. Can Rincon and Cruz keep Garcia in place at first? The Barnstormers are going to want a stolen base here. Sanford will step in. Darian, like Garcia, with 2 hits on the afternoon. The others are the extra base hits, the double by Galen and the home run by De La Rosa. Sanford, an infield hit to the hole at shortstop in the first, a line drive through the left side in the 7th inning. Time is called before the first pitch is delivered. Lancaster needs to advance Carlos Garcia 270 feet. To Sanford. First pitch strike onto the outside corner. It's 0-1. The outfielders are back a ways, even against Sanford here. They need to keep the ball in front of them. Fastball is outside, 1-1. Tyler Bortnick is on deck. Barnstormer second baseman. The hottest hitter on the ball club, Rico Noel, had to sit today. Not 100%. There goes Garcia. The pitch is strike 2 on the outside corner, and Sanford can't believe it. Garcia gets the second on the steal. And now Lancaster down to a final strike, but they do have the tying run in scoring position. The Barnstormers' left-handed batters have barked about the calls on the outside corner all day. We've seen Trdoslavich and now Sanford get very animated on their glances back to Rosas. Time called. Cruz will go out to the mound to talk to Rincon. I doubt this will be considered a timeout, probably going over the more complicated signs with the tying run at second base. Rosas out there to make sure, and he waves off the timeout. The Barnstormers have used 2 of theirs today, including 1 by second baseman Tyler Bortnick. Lancaster trying to pull this one out, down to 1 final strike today. It is 1-2 on Sanford. Rincon ready to go. And the pitch, Darian with a bouncer toward the middle. Casilla gets there. He'll have no play. Sanford aboard on an infield single, and Tyler Bortnick will now have a chance. It is first and third for Bortnick. Tyler 0 for 4 in the day, is grounded to first, fly to deep right, grounded to short, grounded to third. Only 1 hit on the season for Bortnick, but now the tying run at third, the lead run at first for the Barnstormers with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Back-to-back singles by Garcia and Sanford around a stolen base. Alexi Casilla kept that ball from getting into center, which would have scored the tying run, but no chance to make a play on Sanford. To Bortnick, a swing and a miss. Tyler down a strike. It is 0-1. Bortnick flied out to fairly deep left field, right near the line for the last out of the ball game here on Thursday night. His lone hit came in the 9th inning of the blowout last night. 0-1 to Bortnick. And it looks like Sanford may be itching to go. But right now, the sole objective is to find a way to get Carlos Garcia home. 1 strike, the count on Bortnick. There goes Sanford, the pitch, a breaking ball down and away, and Darian Sanford arrives safely at second base. Now a base hit could give Lancaster the lead. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bortnick. Tense moments turning back the other way in the 9th inning as Lancaster tries to pull this one out of the fire. Tyler Bortnick at 1-1. The pitch, a breaking ball into the zone, make it 1-2. Blake Galen is the Barnstormers on deck hitter, hoping for a chance here in the 9th inning. At third is Garcia. At second is Sanford. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bortnick. The pitch, a fastball beaten foul Bortnick keeps it going. Garcia battled, got the base hit. Sanford the infield single. Bortnick trying to at least tie the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball is high. 2-2. Fans wanted that, but no chance. Clearly upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bortnick. Rincon to the high set. And the pitch. Bortnick swings and misses at the breaking ball, and the ball game is over. So that'll wrap up the opening weekend series. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and the Barnstormers leave 2 on base here in the top half of the 9th inning. We'll be back with the wrap-up show coming your way next. Our final score, the York Revolution 3 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 2.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding third row. Room for up to 7. And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL Hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
Well, the Barnstormers lose 3 out of 4 here at York on opening weekend, despite outscoring the Revs 23-20. But for the Barnstormers, nearly half of those runs came in 1 inning last night, winning 14-4. The Barnstormers lose the 2 close ones, and today, once again, it was just the inability to get runs home. The story of the series. Lancaster had more base runners once again today than the York Revolution. But the problem became not being able to get those men across. For the victorious York Revolution, 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, 6 left. The Barnstormers 2 runs on 7 hits with 1 error and 9 men left on base. The win goes to Robert Carson. He had a win and a save in this series. The loss to Jared Lakin. Don't chalk that one up to Jared. It's officially his loss, but he pitched very well. 4 ground balls. What can you do? 0-1 with that loss. The save to Junior Rincon, his first. The Barnstormers almost got to him, but then he picked up his 3rd strikeout of the 9th inning, getting Tyler Bortnick on the 2-2 pitch to end it. The only home run of the ball game belonged to Anderson De La Rosa, his first of the year. The Barnstormers' only home run in this 4-game series. It came with the bases empty back in the 4th inning. 2 hours, 51 minutes, the time of the game today, and a thin crowd on this chilly Sunday afternoon, 1,692 here at Peoples Bank Park. We'll wrap up the game and run down the out-of-town scores when we come back here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
York defeating the Barnstormers today 3-2 with a 2-run uprising in the 7th inning, most of that coming with 2 outs. The Revolution taking 3 out of 4 in this opening weekend series from the Stormers. The Barnstormers 1 game better off at this point than they were last year. So let's look at that bright spot. The Barnstormers statistically have looked very good. They just had a situation this weekend where every time they made a mistake, and you're going to make a few during these first few games of the year with the short spring training, but every time they made a mistake, York jumped on it, and it cost the Barnstormers probably all 3 losses, if not 2 of the losses. The fact that they made 1 misplay in the field and York came up with a big base hit afterwards, and certainly that was the case here this afternoon. Welcome back to the wrap-up show, everyone, as the Barnstormers get ready to enjoy the off day tomorrow and then head to Southern Maryland on Tuesday. This one was in the Barnstormers' grasp early. In the 3rd inning, Carlos Garcia led off with a single to center field. He went to second on a deep fly out for Tyler Bortnick, the second out of that inning, and then Blake Galen hit a drive to the gap in right center field. Travis Witherspoon, a diving try, couldn't come up with it. The ball trickled loose. Galen with the RBI double as Garcia scampered home, and the Barnstormers had a 1-0 lead. The next inning started with a walk to Trayvon Robinson. Kyle Waldrop stepped in, and this always seems to happen to the guy who's struggling to come up with base hits. He had a smash up the middle, but Alexi Casilla was there to make the diving stop, turn it into a double play, and that was fortunate for York because Anderson De La Rosa stepped in next and homered over the boards down the right field line to give the Barnstormers a 2-0 lead. Lancaster would not be heard from very much at all until the 9th inning. York got a run back in the bottom of the 4th, and that came as the result of a leadoff walk to Jared Mitchell. He stole second. Alexi Casilla then hit a sharp ground ball on the right side. Joey Terdoslavich, a nice backhanded stop. But Brooks Hall may have thought that ball was going to get through and went to back up home plate instead of cover first base. Casilla arrived safely with the infield base hit. They had runners at first and third, but only scored on a sacrifice fly for Zach Wilson. It stayed 2-1 all the way to the bottom of the 7th inning. Jared Lakin came on in relief for the Barnstormers. He got Wilson to ground to short, and then Michael Burgess, batting against the shift, reached out, poked a little ground ball on the left side to the left of third baseman Carlos Garcia, who was playing towards shortstop, and Garcia misplayed it. It looked like he kicked it out of his glove. So Burgess got the first base safely on the error. Jose Tabata then hit a smash toward Garcia. He made the backhanded stop, but as he went to get rid of the ball, he fell down and only got the force out at second base on Burgess. So Tabata arrived safely at first. Tabata would then steal second. Ruby Silva hit a sharp one hopper up the middle. Vladimir Frias had it for a moment, and then it got away from him. That was a base hit. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. That brought Jesus Sanchez in out of the bullpen as Ross Peoples wanted the right-hander to face Ryan Dent, but Dent walked to load the bases. Luis Cruz then delivered 2 runs with a single into center field as Tabata and Silva scored. York had the 3-2 lead. Matt Marksberry put himself in deep jeopardy in the 8th inning, walking the bases loaded, 2 walks, a double steal, and then an intentional walk. But Marksberry showing some moxie, struck out 2 and got a force play grounder to end the inning. The Barnstormers still within reach as we went to the 9th inning. Junior Rincon struck out the first 2 batters he faced, but then Carlos Garcia kept the game alive with a single into right center field. He would steal second. Darian Sanford beat out a ground ball behind second base. Lancaster had runners at first and third with 2 outs. Sanford took off. He stole second. Lancaster had the tying and winning runs, or tying and lead runs anyway, in scoring position, but Rincon was able to survive it, striking out Tyler Bortnick to end the ball game. York prevailing this afternoon by a final score of 3-2. The Revs take 3 out of 4 in this opening weekend series. The most telling statistic of all, the Barnstormers 39 runners left on base to just 22 for the York Revolution in the 4-game series. On the out-of-town scoreboard, there's a doubleheader going on between the Road Warriors and the Somerset Patriots. Patriots took game 1 by a 1-0 margin in 2 hours and 6 minutes. And then game 2 also belonging to Somerset, but they're only in the top of the second. The score is 1-0. Sugarland trying to get to 3-0, holds a 2-0 lead over the New Britain Bees in the bottom of the third. The Long Island Ducks are up 7-4 at Southern Maryland. Play there is in the top half of the 7th inning. On the Major League scoreboard this afternoon, plenty of action, a very busy Sunday. The Red Sox rallied late to defeat the Tampa Bay Rays. Final score was 4-3. Baltimore Orioles with a win over the Detroit Tigers. 5-3 was the final score. 2 more home runs for suddenly hot Pedro Alvarez. Toronto 7, Texas 2. The final score this afternoon up at the Rogers Center. J.A. Happ winning his 4th of the season. They're done in Cleveland. The Seattle Mariners, a big win, 10-4 over the Indians. The Marlins shut out the Colorado Rockies this afternoon. 3-0 was that final. The Braves lead the Phils 6-1. They're in the bottom of the 7th. Pittsburgh shutting out St. Louis 5-0. Play is in the bottom half of the 8th by the Three Rivers. The Washington Nationals up 3-1 over the Arizona Diamondbacks. The ball game is in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The A's and the Stros tied 3-3. They're in the bottom of the 7th. Cincinnati winning big at Minnesota. It's 7-1 in the 6th. Kansas City one better than the Chicago White Sox 4-3 through 5.5 innings of play. Cubs 2, Brewers nothing in the bottom of the 6th. The Mets and the Padres just getting underway. The Mets batting in the first inning out at San Diego. The Los Angeles Dodgers visit the San Francisco Giants. They get underway 5:05 our time, and tonight it's the Yankees at the Angels on the nationally televised game. The Barnstormers are idle tomorrow. The entire Atlantic League will sit out tomorrow, the first Monday of the regular season, traditionally an off day on the Atlantic League schedule, and a 3-game series for the Barnstormers will start down at Southern Maryland's Regency Furniture Stadium on Tuesday evening. It will be Steve Johnson, the one-time Baltimore Oriole, a native of Baltimore from an Orioles family. His dad, Dave Johnson, also a Baltimore native, pitched for the Orioles back in the early 90s. Steve will go Tuesday night against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Join us with the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report at 6:15 on Tuesday night. Wednesday will be a day game at Southern Maryland, a 10:35 start against the Blue Crabs, and then the opening road trip will conclude Thursday evening at 6:35. The Barnstormers will be taking on York next weekend at Clipper Magazine Stadium for a 3-game series as we raise the curtain on season 14 of baseball at 650 North Prince Street. Until then, for all the cast and crew back at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone. And come Friday, we'll see you at the ballpark.